Okay, so good evening and welcome to the Six Pack Revolution, January 2022. Now, I cannot tell you how excited I am because this is by far the biggest wave of all time, but not by the normal jump every year, by many jumps every year. So a lot of you would have seen the article in The Guardian on New Year's Eve, and everything went a little bit bonkers. So I had to shut doors because we physically couldn't take any more people. It was like a water balloon blowing up, about to burst. So you're the lucky ones. Your life is about to change like you would not believe in just 75 days. And I can promise you, if you follow exactly what I tell you, 100%, 7 days a week, not a blueberry out of place, all the way to the finish line, you will not believe what is staring back at you from the mirror. You will not believe how you feel mentally, physically, and emotionally. And you will literally feel like you can go down the street and stop cars with your bare hands. And I'm not kidding. And day 75 has been named as Christmas Day for adults. So you might wonder who's on the screen here with me. I've got Sam, who's my right-hand woman, literally helps me run the whole program, Six Pack Revolution. I've got Rainey here, who takes down all the bullet points. Why can I hear people?
Because they're trying to sign on.
Hello?
Sorry?
I just heard someone speaking at me there who was South African.
Oh, sorry. I was listening to Rainey's message.
Right. Sorry, people. Can you not do that, Sam? Cheers. Right. So, sorry about that, peeps. I don't even know where I was now. Where was I, Rainey? Help me out. Rainey. Rainey takes down the bullet points of the Zooms or webinar, which this has turned out to be. And she, so when you're looking back, you can go to a certain time and look at that subject, for example. And if you're watching this back, then that makes it a lot easier for you if you don't want to sit through the whole thing. But my bit at the beginning is going to take me about 45 minutes or so, I think. And I'm going to simplify everything for you. I know all of you are sitting there petrified, thinking to yourself, what have I got myself into? And worrying I can't do this, and all overwhelmed by the information that we've had to give you over this last few days. But let me just tell you, first of all, most of it's been recipes. It looks like a lot coming at you, but really it's a handbook and recipes and a meal plan. And I'm going to explain all of it and simplify everything to you tonight. Now, what's different for me tonight is I'm on a Zoom, but our Zoom is a limit of 1,000. I can't get bigger. They don't do a bigger Zoom than 1,000. And obviously, as you can see, we've got 1.7 thousand on here tonight. We had almost 3,000 registered for tonight. So you have to go over to what they call a webinar, which doesn't allow me to have all the people on the screen just as normal. Now, I can invite people to the screen if I wish to have a chat. And also, I'm going to ask Sam maybe to randomly choose 20 people from all of you to come to the screen, just so that I've got someone to look at and speak to, because that's what I'm used to. If she pulls you in and you don't want to do it, just don't delete or don't accept or whatever else, and she will do someone else. Or we can just leave it as it is now, but I'd like a couple of people on anyway, if that's possible. Right, okay. So tonight I'm going to go over, as I said, and simplify absolutely everything for you so you can all calm down. This is the most simple program on planet Earth. And within a week, you'll be doing it like the back of your hand. You won't even be looking at pieces of paper or screens or anything, okay? And we have had 18 to 78-year-olds in 68 different countries, colours, creeds, abilities, disabilities, athletes, people that can't even walk, people with no legs, people in wheelchairs, people with cerebral palsy, people that are Olympians, and people that are in the Great Britain squad. You name it, we've had it, and everyone manages fine. It doesn't matter what country you're in, because even the people in the UK are not on this one tonight. Some people won't be because of work commitments or something else. They'll watch it back. So every Zoom is recorded. You will not miss a thing. And you can run this in your time throughout those 75 days. So if you're in a different time frame to us, it's irrelevant. Okay? Right. Shall we get going? Now, I will give people a chance to ask me questions when I finish, but please grab a pen and a piece of paper and write down any questions that you think of while we're going through. But if I answer them, can you please cross out that question and don't ask it? Because we have a lot of people, and if I open this up to everybody to ask a question, we will be here till midnight, and I'm not kidding you. So we don't need that, right? And also tomorrow you'll get a Q&A put into your group that you can ask. And I've got a team of people that can answer all of those questions too. So let's try and keep tonight to things that might be a little bit more complicated or important. Don't ask me tonight, can I switch broccoli for kale? That isn't necessary tonight, okay? So if we can keep the questions to a minimum, but if you want me, I'm here. And by the way, me and my team are with you live all day, every day, from before you've started, like now, till after you've finished. Even I'm available to you as well. But again, will you contact me if it's something personal, something you can only speak to me about, and not something that everyone can answer. And most questions should be able to just go into your group, and also that will benefit other people that are looking at the question and get the answer as well, that might be thinking of that same question as you. Right, okie dokie. So let me make you all a promise, and I know I've made one, I'm going to make it again though, just so it goes in. If you embrace everything that this program has to offer, it will change your life forever. You will come away from this program with a different relationship with food, with drink, and with yourself. And you will never quite be the same again. I'm going to hand you the key to your happiness. Whether you use it all the time is going to be down to you. But you will have it. You will know. And when you have that power in your hands, then you always know how to be happy. I'm going to give you it. Okay, I've found a way. And at the end of the program, we all have sacrifices to make while we're on the program. We've got to rewire how your body and mind works. But when we get to the finish line, I'm going to teach you how to keep your results and still party twice a week. But until then, we've got a job to do. I'm going to ask this first question, ask it on every Zoom, and Sam is going to put a poll into the group if this works, because this is new for us. Oh, by the way, so usually we've got this webinar thing that we have to do now because of the quantity of participants. So we're winging it tonight. So you're going to have to bear with me as well, just in case certain things go a little bit skew with. But so what? I like winging stuff anyway. Worst thing is we're going to learn something, aren't we? So this question I ask every time, I don't want you to take it too seriously, although it's a serious question. So it's going to come at you, you might go, whoa, but I want you to just be honest and answer it for me. The question is, I want you to, on the poll, tell me if you hate yourself. The poll is going to actually say who has a poor opinion of themselves, because I don't feel nice writing hate yourself for some reason, but that's my question. Will you please let me know if you hate yourself? And I'm just going to let the poll finish itself just for a second. And while we're waiting for that to go on, please everybody, oh, hang on, we're nearly there, Okay, right, so as you can see, 33% of the people on this webinar now has answered yes to hating themselves. Think about that just for a second, right? This is going to stop today, all right? Just for this 75 days, I want you to do me a favor. Let's just park that for a while, eh? I mean, there's enough hate in the world, and let's not hate ourselves. You should be your own best friend. And just for this 75 days, I want you to make a decision that you are going to stop that. You can go back to it after if you really want to. But right now, I want you to stop it. That's a lot of people, all right? And in some ways, you're out of order. And I'll tell you why. You've got a body that works, a mind that works. We can make it work better, but it works. There are people not with your opportunities. There are people that are dead. There are people that are today saying goodbye to their children as they take their last breath. There are people in all sorts of horrific situations all over the world. You're on the six-pack revolution, right? So just for this 75 days, please, let's change this mentality now, not tomorrow, now, and live just for this 10 weeks like the world is rigged in your favor. All right? Even smirk about it. Okay? Love everything about yourself, even the ugly, wobbly, fat, smelly, stinky bits, everything. Okay? My favorite photos are my fat photos. Right? So just for this 75 days. And thank you for taking part in the poll. Let's move on to something a little bit more cheerful, shall we? Over this program, you've probably noticed already, I'm going to drip feed some of this. Mindfulness, thinking of life in a more positive way, looking at life from a different perspective. And a perspective where you can find the positive in every situation. Because let me tell you one thing, everything that happens, there is something you can gain from in a positive way, if you allow yourself to. Don't become your own obstacle. And I just want you to make a decision now that you're going to switch your mind into that constant loving everything, even the bad stuff. Right? I mean, let's think about it. How many things have you done in your life that you think, oh my God, it's a nightmare, and it turns out to be the best thing ever? All right, because constantly worrying about the future is, future doesn't exist. You're worrying about something that doesn't exist. And let's start looking at life from that way. So you're going to notice me drip feed this stuff into the program. I call it drip feed because I don't really want to think it's some weird cult. It's just looking at life, because life's great if you allow it to be. Okay. First week, crikey, this is a bit crazy, isn't it? This first week. I promise you it will all calm down. In fact, you'll probably miss it at some point. And you'll go, how funny was that the first week? It was all blah, 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 blah. So just calm down. All the, when you're in your Facebook groups as well, a lot of you won't like Facebook. Not the biggest fan in the world myself, if I'm honest, but it works, this program, really well whilst our app is being created. But it's not going to be finished till, I'm hoping later this year, we're going to be ready, but then I need to test it and all sorts. So, this year is Facebook, I'm afraid, by the looks of it. All the important stuff every day will be put into featured section at the top of your group. So you do not have to scroll through anything. If you don't want to be a part of the community and don't want to get involved and make friends and all that, and you think it's all too happy clappy for you, it's not. There's not enough of positive stuff on the internet, by the way, on social media. Not enough of it. Scotty's brought the one proper positive part of social media to you. But if you don't fancy it, that's fine. You can just go in every day into your featured section and check out in there. And then these webinars, for example, will be put in the guide section. There'll be various things stored in guides afterwards, because featured we empty every few days, because there's more newer stuff coming in now, and the other stuff's kind of a bit irrelevant. But anything important will be put in files, like your meal plans and all that stuff, and into the featured section at the top of your group and guides. So you don't have to, it just works like any other app, okay? Let's get to a few of the really important things if you want to succeed on this program and not slow yourself down. First thing is the scales. Now, you saw the scales post where our wonderful Lucy went from a size 10 to a size 6. 10 stone on one side, 10 stone on the other, went from a slight mummy bod to Lara Croft. That can be you too. Halfway through, she told me that the program wasn't working for her. Hi, everyone. And luckily I kept her head, and she's so good. We use her on every wave to show why to leave the scales at home. All right. If she'd have focused on weight only, she would just have, it was just doing her head in, and one of the best results of all time. So please just put the scales away or throw them in the bin. You never need them again. All right. Don't be held to ransom by numbers. We don't weigh food. We don't weigh ourselves. We don't count calories. We don't do none of that stuff. Hence why this program outperforms every other in the world, because they do weigh food. They do count calories and they do weigh themselves. So pick, if you've chosen the program that gets the best results globally, follow it. If you get on them scales, your results will be slower than other people that don't. Fact. You will slow your results down. Okay? Free yourself from this nightmare of numbers. Photos. So a lot of you don't know this yet, right? This is the bane of my life. And let me tell you one thing, this isn't for me. I've got so many photos, I don't know what to do with them. I could go on for another 10 years and never have one more photo and I still wouldn't have got through all the ones that I've got. And I'm not kidding. I've got something like 48,000 photos on my phone alone. That's let alone what's all in the system, right? Now, probably all my kids. Anyway, this is the one thing that the participants tell me off at the end that I should have made it more clear, because it's their biggest regret. If you said to me, Scott, what's the one biggest regret of a participant? It's the first photograph. Okay. So here we go. I know you've watched, some of you have watched the video, but I'm going to tell you again. I'm not in the right place here to actually do it properly, but face on, wipe the lens, both sides. Face on, nice lighting. Arms down. This screen won't show you it all, right? Arms down. Room above your head. I don't want you up the other end of the garden, and I don't want you straight in the face like this either, right? We need space around you just from your knees up. You have a look in the handbook and you'll see the examples. This is really not difficult. If someone was taking the photo for you, they would have it here, wouldn't they? They wouldn't be down at their groin, and they wouldn't be laying on the floor. They'd have it here. So that's where your camera needs to be. So you need to prop it up on a table, on some books, on some more books, and so on. All right? And if there is a window or a door behind you, please go somewhere else. Even if it's dark outside, please go somewhere else. Doesn't give as good a picture because there's some light coming through or something like that, right? Bra tops for ladies, please. And not the thick bands that cover all of your body. And the leggings, not the thick bands that cover all of your body. So you've got like an inch of flesh that goes along like that, because you will regret it. And you will have said, why didn't I listen to him? And I won't be the one that's not got enough photos or anything. It will be you going, oh. Even if you think now, I couldn't care less about photos. See, I'm not vain, so I'm not about me. Trust me, when you go from a size 18 to a 10 in one wave on this program with no saggy skin, you want to see it. Trust me. And then we're not going back there again, are we? We're not going to go stick another 4 dress sizes on just to take it again. Okay? So please make sure that you get this first photo correct. And guys, just a pair of shorts or jogging bottoms. Shorts probably better. And when I say below the belly button, I don't mean down by your pubis bone, people. I've had that where you all look really long bodies because you're just about covering your bits. All right? Just below the belly button, like a normal pair of shorts would be. Yeah. No one puts them over the belly button, really, do they? If they're not trying to just hide it and tuck it all in. Let's see it all hang out. I don't care if you're a size 32 dress or a 48 waist. Let it hang out. All right. If you don't want it shown anywhere, it will never be shown anywhere. So it's for you. But let me tell you something. When you feel the way this program is going to make you feel, and you look in the mirror and a dress size is dropping off you, and then another, depending on where you are, of course. If you're a size 8 already, we're not going to go down to a 0. You'll just start to look like Lara Croft and get all like look like a fitness influencer instead, which is great. Lucy, come on, what's the matter with your screen, man? Lucy's a friend of mine. You might. She's the one with the dodgy screen.
I have no idea. I'm so sorry.
What else going on? Right, that's gonna do my head in. So maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it off.
Yeah, Sam, you can switch her out. Okay, so guys. So photo, please. It will take you 60 seconds a week. I will give you my life for every day of the week that my eyes are open for. I'm going to go well beyond the call of duty, and so are my team. All I'm going to ask is if you do your photos, please. Right. Interim results. So every week, well, after about 12 days, our first set of interims go in. This is our weekly progress photos that we put in as we go along. I'm sure many of you have probably seen them. If you don't want to be in them, don't worry, no one will ever know. But those that, first of all, do say yes to social media, if I put you into the interim results, thank you, and I will ask you first. So even if you put it in the wrong box, I'll still ask you just in case. So I'll never get it, put someone in who shouldn't be, because even if they've said yes, I'm going to check first. Okay. Now, I want you all to listen to this bit very carefully. You are going to see some ridiculous results even on day 12. And you're going to go, whoa, how did that happen in 12 days? Now, if that isn't you, I don't want you to get angry or miserable or disheartened or grumpy about it, because that will hold you back. I want you to be so pleased for them and grateful that you are on the same program that guarantees, if you follow this 100% 7 days a week, not a blueberry out place, that it's going to be a wow. In fact, it's going to be a wow. That's your bit, by the way. That's the catch. You've got to follow it. If you don't follow it, won't happen. Most people, will see it in the last couple of weeks, right? So even on week 8, if you say to me, oh, I haven't popped yet, I'll say, so? Okay. I've not had one person yet get to the finish line, do it properly, and not go, oh my God, how did that happen? So it's not even a 99%, 100. Right? So that's all you've got to do. And by the way, stop trying to find loopholes. Right? There might be a couple somewhere, but I ain't got time. I need 6,000 people to look after on this wave. I haven't got time to start working out loopholes. Right? So also finding loopholes doesn't help you here. So you'll be a lesser result here if you're constantly looking for how to get out of it. Right? If you learn to control yourself, then you're more likely to be successful as you go on past Six-Pack Revolution and it's all over. Right. Now we are all available for you. I'm in every group. My team, you've got coach, you've got 2 assistant coaches, a coach, an assistant head coach, a head coach, and me, and probably 30 of what we call legends in every group. They're people that have done Six-Pack before and have come back that can answer all your questions. So you answer a question, it's got to be answered in minutes, pretty much. Okay, so we're with you live all day, every day. But if you want to ask a coach a specific question, and let's say you tag them or you maybe send them a private message, if you're not friends with them, there's a chance it might go into their spam and they miss it. They're not ignoring you. They would never ignore you, not even once. Even if they want to ignore you because you're in a pain, they won't ignore you. All right. But don't forget, if you don't get an answer, you've got so many other options to speak to someone, including me. So just remember that no one's ignoring you. And it's your responsibility to let us know. We are not going to check in with you every single day and just check that you're okay. But you can tell us if you're not. Right? So if you get to the end and say, oh, no, well, no, there was no support, no one checks. Well, we're not psychic. All right? You let us know if there's a problem, we'll be with you, boom, like that. But a lot of people want to just be quiet in the background, not make a fuss, want to just get on with it. I mean, at the end, we sometimes we have these photos come in, these before and afters, and we go like, who are they? Like, where did they come from? And it's like, what? And it's like our heads go all over the place. So make sure that if there's any issues, you're slightly don't tell us you're wobbly and 2 weeks late and you've got to mess it up for 2 weeks. Let us know in 2 minutes. Right? Because if we don't know, we can't help you. And we are not going to call you every day to rub your back. Go, you all right? Okay. Cool. Right. The other reason about the scales thing, oh, by the way, I'm going to go backwards and forwards like a nutcase. I always do that. Right? The other thing about the scales is when you're on the scales, you are focusing on the one thing that you don't want more of. You're giving your energy and focus and to the one thing you don't want more of, which is weight. How about we focus on what we do want? Size 8, 10 dress. I'm picking this out, by the way, guys. If you're a size 28, then you're going to be happy with a 20 on one wave or something, right? But just bear with me. Tight bum, abs, pecs, biceps, definition in your face, flat tummy, healthy heart, clear mind. Oh, by the way, what this is going to do for here will far outweigh your visual results. All that anxiety that we're all riddled with all the time. Right? The world's riddled with anxiety, right? All of us. Right? Mental, isn't it? It's because we don't eat properly. Don't get me wrong, people have had things happen to themselves and PTSD and all that. Put them to one side. I'm not talking. The other 95% of the world is riddled with anxiety because they don't eat properly. They're poisoned themselves since they were born. Full fat milk, bread, butter, crisps, cakes, sweets, chocolate. Then what? So about 8 years of age, gonna tell you all about my childhood now. Like you've had a sip of mum and dad's beer and wine. By 14, you're over the park with your mates, you've managed to get a bottle. Where did we ever get the bottles from? God knows. Then you know, probably had a fag where your mates ran behind the bike sheds. 16, you're in the pubs pretending you're 18, and then by 18, you're drinking every weekend. That's not including the fat, the salt, the sugar, the coffee, the caffeine, any other drugs you might have done. And we're all wondering why we're coughing, spluttering, and stopping, and this don't work. Because what goes through here feeds this just as much as this. So you're going to love this. You're going to have this clarity, like someone's just gone, turned a light bulb. Well, that's what happened to me, and that's what I've now tried to save the world since I worked it out. And I'm excited for all of you. Should we get on to the meal plans? That's probably the bit everyone's mostly worrying about. This is so easy. Okay. First thing is, the example meal plan that you saw is an example. The word example means example. It's not set in stone. That's just to show you a rough idea. You don't have to follow that. You can put in your days whatever you wish. Now, there's kind of 3 ways we do this program. 2 meals, 2 shakes, 2 snacks, meal replacement shakes, right? That's the most common. I'd say 99% of people do that. And I'll tell you why. It's convenient. Very easy to put 2 scoops into a shaker and shake it and drink it. It satisfies the sweets craving. It's economically quite good. I know you have to buy the pouch up front, but per meal is quite low in cost. And so on. You can also do 1 shake, 2 meals, 3 snacks. Or you can do 3 meals and 3 snacks. You don't have to have shakes whatsoever at all if you don't want to. All of you will have a post-workout shake after your workout. And if you don't want that shake either, then you can have another meal. But I would probably choose a more not so overfilling meal. All right. Now, if you are a nutrition professional or a PT or something like that, I want you to put aside what you think you know just for 75 days and allow your mind to open and maybe learn something different. You can go back to your old ways after, that's fine. But while you're here, we do it this way, okay? And you won't go back ever again, by the way. So let me tell you how to make a 6-pack revolution meal. It's a palm size and thickness piece of protein. If you're going to have something like, if you're a regular foodie and you're having chicken, fish, turkey, ostrich, and so on. You'll see it all on page 16, if I'm not mistaken. Sam, come back on and tell me if I've got that one wrong, but it's page 16, you'll see a mixture of stuff. If you're going to have things like tofu, tempeh, seitan, corn, soya mince, corn mince, that is a palm and a half thickness. Your vegetables or salad or something like that is going to be a big outstretched hand on the plate. Okay, like so. And then you'll have something like a teaspoon of olive oil or half an avocado or 6 almonds. The oil part, your healthy fats part will be on the recipe anyway. So you can make your own if you wish by getting a palm size and thickness piece of chicken, for example, chop it up into cubes, stick it in the stir fry, any spices, ginger, garlic, chili you like, big handful of vegetable, do a stir fry, squeeze a lemon, a little bit of black pepper, whatever. And you've stir fried in a teaspoon of olive oil, for example, and you've made a 6-pack meal. Easy. But there are hundreds of recipes and thousands of variations. What I mean by that is, if you don't like broccoli, you can switch it for any other vegetable in the world. If you don't like banana, you can switch it for any other fruit in the world. Okay? And if you don't like chicken, switch it for turkey, tofu, tempeh, seitan. The list of proteins are there. We don't eat red meat on the pro. Okay. I've got 75 days to get you a result that will take most people 2 years. So I'm tweaking everywhere I can. All right. So write down questions if you've got any, like while you're going along, we'll ask them as we get to the end. Now, there is pretty much no gluten or dairy on the program. You'll say, well, there's Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. Yes, you are correct. And that's because utopia would be that we can get the nice creamy dessert type thing, not use something like Greek yogurt, for example. But the world isn't quite like that. So I needed to create certain dishes that were dessert-like for you. And so that everything is kind of normal. There's pizzas, there's bologneses, there's fish and chips with chip shop curry sauce, there's chicken nuggets and ketchup on this program, plus loads of other delicious meals. So the snacks you will follow as they are made. We are not got any hand versions of those, right? There's loads. If you don't like one, pick a different one. Now, I'm going to assume that a lot of you are thinking, how am I going to fit all this prep in and stuff like that? That's going to be one of the most daunting things of all. This prep should take you less time cooking than you currently do now. And I'll explain why. If I'm going to have my favorite 6-pack revolution recipe, which is the salmon and goji berry curry, I'm going to cook 6 portions, not 1, because it takes me the same amount of time. Give or take a bit of chopping of salmon, all goes in a pot as it does to cook 1. And it takes me about 20 minutes, but I'm going to give you all 25. In fact, it takes about 15 minutes. I'm going to give you 25 minutes, though, because you don't do it as much as me. You've got 3 days worth of food, took you 25 minutes. Now, let's choose Thai chicken curry. Why am I talking about curries? I must have curries. It's irrelevant. Chicken tagine, right? That takes about 20 minutes because it's chicken. So I'm going to give you 30. Let's say you didn't cook them at exactly the same time, though, because you could cook them together, couldn't you? But let's say you did one and then did the other one. So what are we on now? 55 minutes, 6 days worth of food. Right? And the Maldivian wrap takes 2 minutes. So basically, you can do your week's food spending an hour, and when you get quicker at it, less than an hour a week. I don't know anyone on this screen, I bet, and on the webinar, that spends less than an hour a week cooking. Okay? Or your family can eat the food, it's delicious. Families all over the world eat this. If you're going to have the kids and you've done the fish and chips with chip shop curry sauce or the nuggets, chicken nuggets and chips with ketchup, they might want white potato chips instead of sweet potato chips. So give them white potato chips. If you do the turkey bolognese, you give them spaghetti instead of courgette, for example. And there's hundreds of things to do, options, and you can work it that way. But even if you had to make a sacrifice just for this 10 weeks, and your biggest obstacle was to make some food, for the results that you are going to get at the end of it, and the life-changing experience that you're going to have, and what it's going to do for you for the next 40 years, then sacrifice. Because I'm going to let you party twice a week after. Let's get, and still look like Wolverine and Lara Croft. But let's get there first, because it won't happen otherwise.
Looks like Barbara's looking forward to that.
And if you thought that coming the results that you've seen from Six Pack was just going to be a magic pill, Scotty's got this magic pill, going to give it to me, it's just, then you need to think again. But it isn't that difficult unless you make it so. Enjoy the obstacles. And when you are you're doing your meal prep, stick something in your ears that's going to be uplifting, right? Because I don't know about you, when I turn the telly on, the radio on, or I look in the newspapers, it's misery. No wonder we're all ruined in here, because all we get told is the bad stuff. There is no good news. I'm gonna create a TV program called Good News, and a newspaper and a magazine. If only I had time. I mean, there isn't, is there? There's none. Well, I've got some good news for you. Here, there's loads, all day, every week, as long as you allow it to go in. Right.
Can we just remind people that if they have questions, they need to write them down, and if they find that they've been answered by the time you finish speaking, then they don't need to. But there's lots of questions going in the chat.
We've got thousands of people. I did say you're going to write loads of questions in, and I may answer them.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, can you put them in the Q&A rather than in the chat? And they're going in the chat instead of the Q&A, so they won't be answered from the chat.
Okay.
Later.
Okay. Right. Right. So as you can see, because you can swap like for like, fussy eaters, people with intolerances, it's fine. So, for example, don't have the wholemeal wrap. I think that's about the only thing with gluten on the program, or maybe oats. Have gluten-free wrap. Done. Other than that, there's literally none on the pro. So if you're a celiac, this is the place for you. All right. And if you're dairy intolerant, this is the place for you. Switch it for the Alpro plain Greek style yogurt that the vegans have if you are intolerant to lactose, for example. How easy is that? Yeah. And if it's in another recipe, you can have it in yours. But if you take something out, you have to put it back. This program only works the way it does because of balance. We have a balanced plate of food, balanced throughout the day with hydration. It's not even clever, by the way. Like all these quick fix fads like high fat keto, which I mean, I wouldn't touch with a barge pole. Don't look at the downsides of keto. It's like, why do people do that to themselves? Intermittent fasting, starving yourself, giving yourself a calorie deficit, allowing you, because you only eat a couple of hours a day. I mean, it's ridiculous. And there might be some intermittent fasters on here that think that autophagy kicks in. Autophagy doesn't kick in until 2 to 3 days of fasting. You eat every day. They're lying to you. Okay? Autophagy kicks in when you eat this way, by the way. Balanced plate of food, balanced throughout the day. It's not even clever. It's just how the human body should be fed. It's going to change your life forever. And you're going to eat. And if you're eating a lot more now than you did before, and you're going, I can't eat it. Eat it. Even if you're not hungry, I want you to eat it. Because in a couple of weeks, you're going to be begging me for more. Because your body will start burning that fuel efficiently. All right? At the moment, your body's not working the right way. Because you're probably eating rubbish and not eating at right times and starving yourself. Everything works in balance. This whole world works in balance, doesn't it? Positive, negative, sun, moon, yin, yang. If a swimming pool, the pH balance is off, black and toxic. Okay? Balance. And that's why this program outperforms all the others. For example, let me give you an example. If I eat a bowl of rice today at midday, there's no rice in 6 pack. Just to throw your head a little bit. Why did I use rice as an example? Bowl of rice, 12 o'clock today. I will have a big insulin spike, and your body's supposed to spike insulin when you eat. That's very normal. But what we don't want are the big crashes. You know, like when you have a pizza, you feel great for 2 minutes, and then you want to go to bed. Like you come out, right? If I put a palm size of thickness piece of chicken stir fried in some spices and a teaspoon of olive oil with that same bowl of rice, same amount, same time today, little. Right, so it's really important what's on the plate and goes in at the same time. Okay. So all your like-for-like food swaps will be on that page 16, but I couldn't write every vegetable in the world on there, right? So just I'm telling you, every vegetable in the world, every fruit in the world, right? So it's fine. If you are going to do like batch cooking, please don't double up on chili and cayenne pepper and cinnamon and things like that. You just blow your head off and you won't be able to eat it. It'd be a waste of a load of food, right? Use the amounts that are there and then maybe do a bit of taste testing. If you want a bit spicier, add a little bit more chili, for example. All right. If you're in the extreme group, you are doing double palm size and thickness or double 1.5 size, so it'd be 2 or 3 palms, for example. If you're going to have a chickpea dish, which is a tin, don't do 2 tins. You'll feel rubbish. Add maybe 1.5 palms of tofu to it, or palm of cod to it. Got me? Good. If you are someone who eats a lot of lentils, beans, pulses, chickpeas, can we make sure that you keep that under wraps a little bit? Because they're full of lectins and phytates, can cause leaky gut. I don't want you to be having chickpea biryani for 75 days, 3 times a day, right? You're going to put your tummy in all sorts of trouble. So this is why I've got a lot of meals that have the tofu and the tempeh and the corn and the soya mince. And there's one great thing for you vegans and also non-vegans. I love it. I have it on everything. I have it on pizzas and curries. It's called What the Cluck. And you can get it in like Waitrose, Tesco's, wherever else. It's from the Vegetarian Butcher. And it's so good. It's like a vegan chicken. Excuse me. Am I allowed to say chicken to vegans? Well, I said it.
Sainsbury's also do it as well now.
Cool. I think it's because of me. They got a better because of 6-pack. You want to start eating it, they got a better sales. Right. Okay. Now, when you wake up in the morning, we're going to have 1/2 litre of water. You don't have to guzz it down in one, but just get your first 1/2 litre in. And then your 3 for women or 4 for men water as you spread it out throughout the day. And that's going to be life-changing for you as well. You'll find out. So if you're going to do 2 meals, 2 shakes, 2 snacks, or whatever program version you choose, excuse me, guys, this is when I talk a lot. And I am in a dusty old thing here, and I do suffer with a post-nasal drip. So I'm not contagious. I've got an irritation. My mum's got it, my son's got it, and I've got it. Right. So you can have your meals and snacks in any order you like, as long as the last meal of the day is a snack. So if you want to wake up and have your salmon and goji berry curry for breakfast, go for it. You're probably not going to, but you can. Right. Okay. Just a quick message before I go on to. Oh no, I'm gonna move that and bring that back in a second. Right. Right. Now, you will notice on the vegan and vegetarian meal plans, there might be some that say an asterisk where there are, for example, I'm got it in front of me, Thai chicken curry. And there'll be an asterisk and it will say to swap it for a vegan alternative. We have lots of vegan recipes. That's on there on purpose to show you what we mean by you can swap. Because it'll be a shame for you to just stick to the vegan recipes that we got, which we've got plenty of, and you can, when you can have every other recipe on the Six Pack Revolution, but by swapping the protein. But wouldn't it be a bit weird if I did a turkey bolognese, a chickpea bolognese, a soya mince bolognese, a corn bolognese, a chicken mince bolognese, a butter bean bolognese, a bolotti bean bolognese? You get me, right? There's no need. I can just tell you, switch out the protein for a vegan one if you want. And the same thing for the non-vegans. Don't not have the vegan recipes. One, you can have them as vegan because they're delicious. But also, if you didn't like tofu, you can switch it for chicken. Yeah. So all the recipes are there for everybody, regardless of your foodie type. Okay. If you've got almond milk, if you're going to have a powder meal replacement shake, you mix with unsweetened almond milk or water. You can't swap that for soya milk. Okay. If soya milk is in your recipe smoothie with your food smoothie, where you're putting yogurt and it says soya milk, you can't switch it for almond milk. So it's either soy milk or pea milk. If you're in a country that won't get pea milk, you can use hemp milk. That's the choices. If you can't have any of those, pick another recipe. But in your powder shakes, no matter what brand you use, it's water or unsweetened almond milk only. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about shakes now. Right. On your supplement sheet, you have been shown that as long as it's got 0 to 18 grams of carbohydrates or 23 to 33 grams of protein, then that will be suitable. What I'm about to say is going to be like I'm selling to you, but I don't know how else to do this. So if you were me, you'd be in the same position. But I'm going to tell you about the Six Pack Revolution. I created these myself with a lot of food scientists, took over a year. I'm a really fussy person. What I wanted to do was get the cleanest, healthiest shake, but with the best flavor. Now, most of the shakes that have good flavor have very high sugar. I didn't want that. So it took me a long time to create what I've created. We won the Health and Wellbeing Awards 2022 for best protein booster for our shakes. And we beat all the big names, the ones you all know the name of, which I was really proud. I took out the maltodextrin, I took out the rubbish, I took out the packers, I took out all that stuff, and I've also chosen the highest quality of the ingredients as well. This is why I can't sell them on Amazon, because I wouldn't, they would, you know, I'll be in a loss because they take too much. But I'm not here as a shake company, I'm here to change your life. So from what I know now, they would be your better option for your best results of what I would put in your body. I'm not going to advertise anyone else's shake. I'm sure you would agree with that. Would be silly after 7 years of blood, sweat, tears, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 364.5 days a year working, because I only get Christmas dinner off. And then to start telling other people, oh, go and use that one, go and use that one, go and use that one. So I hope you understand that would be a bit silly for me to do. And also, we're in 68 countries as we speak, participants in 68. I couldn't know all those brands in all those countries anyway either. But you can go and find one that fits in those parameters. If you was insane enough to not want six-pack ones, of course. But let me tell you, I'm yet to find someone really that's got a shake that's actually the same value as well, because in six-pack ones, there's 30 servings. So you might get a 500 gram packet that you pay 22 quid for or something, and it's got 11 servings in. It's cost you 2 quid a serving, but six-pack ones cost you £1 something. Okay, so please remember, I understand if you're going to go and buy cheaper and get less, that's fine. But if you pay more for less, that would be hard for me to swallow. That you actually went out and paid more because you wasn't paying attention to how many servings are in the packet. So please check that first. Right? Because that way I'm most of the time I'm saving people money as well and giving them the best I can. We also do overnight oats. They are not gluten-free. All the shakes are gluten-free. The overnight oats are not gluten-free for all those people that are going to ask. They are so delicious. I cannot tell you, they're a game changer. And they can be one of your snacks. And they don't count as your starchy carb either. So you can have that as a snack that is a starchy carb. So is quinoa, by the way, and sweet. This isn't a low carb diet, by the way. This is the carbs the human body is supposed to have. You can have carbs every day. You can have quinoa and sweet potato every single day, right? So if someone tells you it's low carb, they're talking rubbish. Okay? And you can have oats. So the 6-pack oats you can have as a snack. They've also got magnesium in them, which is also great for weight loss and helping you sleep. And they don't make you drowsy, but they're good for the body. So don't miss out on those if you want to try them. I'm kind of a bit addicted to them. We have sweet banoffee pie, it's called, and it's like a little banana honey flavor, and then apple and cinnamon. I like them, by the way, straight off, not left overnight. I like them left overnight, but I love them just straight off because the banana's still chewy and it's all a bit, it's just a bit better. And if you live in Europe, then because we're now not a part of the EU, you might want to get your 6-pack Revolution shakes and oats and and supplements. We do, I'll tell you about that in a sec, from proteinmalta.com. The postage might be a little bit better from Protein Malta. And if you are in Dubai, you can speak to Pop Dubai. You should have got an email with those on them as well, if you are in those countries too. So we currently have hubs in Malta and Dubai as well. But with our new abundance of American participants this wave, we got, because of that Art Guardian article, the whole of America decided to jump in as well. Maybe I need to start looking at getting a hub out there too. Right. We also do the supplements. So we've got multivitamins. We call it multi-story. And with that, I've added curcumin and black pepper. Curcumin is an amazing anti-inflammatory. That's really good. And the reason the black pepper's in there, because that improves the absorption rate by 2000%. So that's our unique multi-story multivitamin. Our omega-3 has also your vitamin D in, because a lot of us all over the world lack vitamin D. We also have pre and probiotic, very important for your gut microbiome. And the probiotic is like your live bacteria, and the prebiotic is the fiber that the probiotic feed on. So it's a very good probiotic, pre and probiotic, and also the what's it called? Dandelion roots, which I've been having for 5 years. It's like, just Google the benefits of dandelion root. I couldn't sit. I'll be here all night if I didn't. It's great for the tummy, great for digestion, but then another 1,000 other things. And I have it every single day and have done. So I created our own dandelion root as well, which we added aloe vera to, because also that's very good for the tummy as well. You can buy it for the whole set and you get a discount on that. What I will say to you about the shakes and stuff is we do sell out quick, because the 6-pack keeps growing so fast. I'm trying to keep up, and then we sell out. But we have got another batch coming at the end of January if we do sell out like soon. So just warning you that, because with that Art Guardian article, we had like double what we were expecting to join, hence why we had to close doors. So we're firefighting a little bit. Okay, if you suffer with low or high blood pressure, please will you PM me. In fact, if you suffer with high blood pressure and you are taking medication, you don't, in fact, if you suffer with low blood pressure, PM me. If you suffer with high blood pressure, I'm going to tell you now, please keep an eye on it, because if you're taking medication to bring that blood pressure down, we're going to bring that back to normal for you anyway. So your medication will possibly bring you into low blood pressure now, which you don't want. Okay, there's not one person who's been in this program yet with high blood pressure who hasn't left the program, who's done it properly, normal. All right, so please be aware of that, because I don't want you fainting, going all dizzy because your blood pressure is now low because of the tablets you're taking. All right, so bear that in mind. If you have had bariatric surgery or a gastric sleeve or a gastric band, please PM me. I've got to warn you all about something. If you are not looking to get pregnant, please be careful whilst you're on this program. We make your body work very well. And we have so many pregnancies, I've now had to bring this into the starter Zoom and warn people. Okay. So if you are if you are able to get pregnant and you don't want to, please be careful. Breastfeeding. If you are breastfeeding, absolutely fine. Please just ask your coach for the breastfeeding information. They'll give you a couple of tips to help improve and give you a strong milk flow. Diastasis recti. If you ladies or gents, we've had a couple of gents with it, but mostly it will be ladies, usually due to pregnancy. Ultimately, it is your responsibility to look after yourself. Ask in the group for the information for diastasis recti. We will give you the NHS version. But if you want Scotty's version, I'm going to give it to you now. So listen. I think that it's like you'll quite often get told to stay away from the area. I want to help close it for you. And we've had huge success with this. Okay. So I would say to you, don't do things like leg raises. You know what leg raises are? Your legs are out straight and you're going to lift them up to your above your face and back down again. That's going to cause you to dome and therefore cause you more problems. So things like that, leave out. If you're going to do a plank, that can cause you to dome. So leave that out. Just switch it for something else. And one of the great ones is standing knees to elbows, because you are approaching it from every angle. You're like marching, right? You put your knees up and your elbow up, right? That's a really good one, because you're approaching it from every angle possible, and you can switch it for something else that you can do. But I would still say, let's still work on your core. But if you start doming or anything like that, cut it out, pick something else and do a different ab exercise. Even if you double up on one that's in your ab workout, so what? Okay. And if you've got any issues with it or anything else, just PM me. Right, okie dokie. Just in case anyone wondered, we are not affiliated with any brand for anything. We are ourselves, whether it's shakes, clothes, anything. Everything's done from scratch by the Six Pack Revolution. Right. Okay. A post-workout shake and a meal replacement shake are two very different things. Just because I give you that range, that was for simplicity. It'll be not many meal replacement shakes or post-workout shakes are going to have 18 grams of sugar in and carbohydrates in. And you will find, but I've just put that parameter in just to make your life easier. Okay. But you can't have a post-workout as a meal replacement. If it doesn't say meal replacement on the front, it's not a meal replacement. We are replacing a meal. A meal is called a meal replacement. A meal replacement is called a meal replacement because it's got a certain amount of fat, sugar, salt, protein, carbs, vitamins, minerals, botanicals, because it's a meal. A post-workout shake is a protein shake, usually with some BCAAs that's just within the food within it anyway, that is to feed your muscles after you've depleted them with a workout and help you repair and recover quicker. Do not have any extra things. I don't want any extra BCAAs, collagen. Now, I've had someone already ask about collagen, so I'm going to answer it now while it's in my head. Why can't I have my collagen supplement? Okay, so collagen, we make in our body by the protein that we eat. You are going to be eating exactly the amount of protein you should be eating on this program. You do not need extra collagen. Extra collagen can be a big problem, can cause problem for your organs, your heart, lungs, etc., liver, kidneys. Also, it can make your skin thick, leathery. Okay, if you eat properly, you do not need supplements. It's all in the food. So do not have extra collagen, BCAAs, creatine, all this stuff. Put it at one side and we'll talk about it after. But while you're on six pack, stick to the plan. If you are going to have vitamins and stuff, please don't have gummies and fizzy effervescent tablets and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, unflavored capsules, which all of six pack are, by the way. Now, when it comes to exercise, we have got, as I said, 18 to 76-year-olds, people with disabilities, abilities, everything you can think of. Six pack is not set in stone. It can bend with the wind. So, for example, we will have 76-year-olds on this program as we speak. And they've already contacted me saying, I can't do a press up. I said, do you know what? Most people can't do a press up. 26-year-olds can't do a press up, let alone 76-year-olds, right? So we will, 81, Valerie. I did say 18, but I knew what you were trying to do. So Valerie could be our oldest participant. I don't know if you can all see her on the screen right now, but welcome.
Wow.
Now,
Hi, Valerie.
So if you think about this, right? Valerie might not be banging out 50 press ups, right? She might by the end, but you never know. However, Valerie, for example, if you can't do a press up, go onto your knees. If you can't do it on your knees, go onto the stairs. If you've got stairs, and you can go up to maybe stair number 5. And then as you get stronger, you can move down to stair number 4 and so on. And you might end up further down them stairs than you thought possible. And this goes for everyone, by the way. Age is irrelevant. Even if you can't do it on your stairs, go to your worktop in your kitchen and you can do your press up. If you can't do that, go to the wall. There's not anyone in the world, by the way, that can't do a press up on the wall unless they've got no arms or something like that, right? But, okay. So you come forward and back, right? And we can adapt anything. But at the same time, I want you to push yourself as well. So you're going to get a rehearsal on tomorrow, a rehearsal workout. And I'm going to make it up. It's going to be roughly something like this, okay? Let's say it's like 10 press ups, 20 jumping jacks, 100 battle rope whips, run half a kilometer, 10 press ups, run half a kilometer back, 100 battle rope whips, jumping jacks. I'm just made that up, right? If you do those press ups slowly and properly as you can, the jumping jacks as perfectly as you can, whip those ropes as hard as you can, run the half a kilometer as fast as you can, do the press ups at the other end as slow as you can, run back the half a kilometer as fast as you can, whip the ropes. I'm telling you now, I don't care who you are, you'll be blowing out your backside. You push yourself. Equally, if you can't run, walk. If you can't jump, step. If you can't squat deep, squat an inch. Right? If you can't do 100 whips, do 5. Right? 90% of your results are coming from the food anyway. Yeah? And we just build up nice and slow. If you started at the program, you can do a press up and you get to day 75, you can do 1, brilliant. If you do 10, great. If you do 100, great. You still move forward. Yeah? Even when you're falling flat on your face, you're moving forward. You can't fall on your flat on your face backwards. It's physically impossible. All right? So let's always move forward. And if you can't find a way forward or a way over the obstacle, because there's a way over every obstacle, by the way, and the winner is the one that doesn't stop till they find it. If you can't find it, ask me, I'll find it for you. I'm here with you every day. So is my team. Okay? No one's alone. There is nothing we can't change. There's nothing that, even if you said to me, Scott, I can barely walk. I go, all right, let's go for a walk. Yeah, I can only walk to the gate and back. All right, let's walk up the hallway and back. There's something we can all do. Okay, good. When you do your dailies, if you want to increase the pressure of those dailies, then you can add weights to them as well. So, for example, if you're doing squat, you want to add a weight to your squat, you can do that, and so on. We will have alternatives for running, but I don't want you to not run. If you can run, I want you to try it. Don't just do an alternative because you just don't like it. Let's give it a go. Yeah, because a lot of people have found a love for running on this program that they thought, oh my God, I've never thought that in my life. And it's good for here too. But there's not much running, to be fair, anyway. But there is an alternative for everything. And if it's bad weather, wherever you are in the world, especially if it's like rainy type weather, get out and whip the ropes. That's my favorite workout. If the rain comes down, I go out for a workout. I've done loads of videos where I'm out in the rain. Because you feel more Rocky Balboa, boys, when you do it in the rain. Yeah, and you're pretty warm pretty quick. Yeah, so you can put a couple of layers on, you'll be whipping them off before you know it anyway. And put that into the group. Let us all see it and be inspired by it. We've got people that put into the group like that are up on top of a mountain in the snow doing burpees, for example. And they're great sort of things to put in. And then someone else is worrying about, oh, it's I mean, I've been guilty of it myself. I've got up in the morning sometimes for, oh, I really can't be bothered today. And then like Glenda from Dagenham, who's 58, who's got up at 5 in the morning because she's a carer at 6. I'm like, and I'm worried at 7. I'm out there whipping the ropes harder than I did before. She can do it, I can do it. Right. If you work out twice in a day, only one post-workout. So take it after whichever workout you want. Okay. And you can train as many times a week as you like, as long as you have one full rest day, where there's no dailies, no abs, no challenge. At least one. I have 2 a week. The minimum, though, is you'll get in signature, you'll get 2 challenges a week. And we want you to do them at least once. So that's your minimum. You do 2 challenges. They will take 20 to 40 minutes. If you can't find 20 to 40 minutes twice a week, there's a problem. The world ain't changing while you're having that 20 minutes, 30 minutes working out. Except for you. Your world's changing in a good way. The world would be fine without you for that little bit of time. Give yourself that moment with yourself and enjoy it. Stop thinking about other stuff. Focus on the challenge. And all the challenges are built a little bit like an obstacle course. You finish one bit, go on to the next bit, finish another. So your job is to stop, don't procrastinate, just go, I've just got to get from one end to the other. How long it takes me, how many breaks I take is down to me, but I'm going to push myself. Okay. And you can make them as hard or as easy as you like. Okay. Now, if you are in a flat or something and you need to go out to the communal area or over the park, if you're feeling a bit nervous, tell me and I'll go live with you out in the street where all the cars are driving past me and I'll do it with you. Okay? It's great. People, think of it this way. If you walked through the park and saw someone working out, would you be like taking the mick out of them? Would you thinking good on them? And if you are someone who takes a mick out of, would feel like that, then that's your issue, not theirs. There's something wrong with you. Okay. Do not compare yourself to others. Right? You're not like them. And remember, there's lots of people in your group that aren't even engaging in the group. They might be a lot looking at you thinking, wow. Okay? The only person you need to make sure you are competing with is yourself. And that you are better than you were the day before. And then the day after that. And the day after that. And little steps makes a massive step at the end. Okie dokie. If you are going to go for Oh, by the way, and if you're doing extreme or intensive, extreme, every other week you do extreme exercise on intensive. There's one a week, and we want you to do those 3 times minimum. All right. And if it says 50 reps of this or 40 reps of that, I thought if you can do 50 reps, it's too light, the weight. If you're on the weights part, I mean. Right? Ideally, if you want to build and sculpt, you would do 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 to get to your 50. Where the lactic acid is kicking in around rep 7, then you put them down, wait a minute, pick them back up, do your next set of 10. All right? Holidays and social events. My recommendation is do this program where you can commit to it fully and not going on holiday. Because when I go on holiday, all bets are off. However, if you've decided that you want to do the 6-pack revolution whilst going on holiday, then, or if you're going to go out to a restaurant or, as I said, if you're in a hotel, wherever else, depending on the hotel, if you go to a, most buffets will cook some fish and you can have some salad and stuff like that. So you can kind of create your 6-pack revolution. You have omelettes and you can create your 6-pack revolution meals and snacks whilst you're on holiday. We've had people do it if you really wanted to do that. But if you're eating out, then there is no real kitchen in the world that can't make you a 6-pack meal. So when I go into, and I've been doing this for 7 years, if I'm on plan and I go into a restaurant, I will say to the waitress, "Hi, can I be a pain?" And she'll think I have some intolerance or something like that. And she'll go, "Yeah, how can I help?" I'll say, "You know that chicken thing you do on your chicken with all the buttery, creamy sauce all over it?" I said, "Can I just have mine grilled? No creamy sauce. Can I have a nice wedge of lemon, a big plate full of vegetables." I'm just making this up, right? But you get my point. No one's ever said to me yet, no. Every restaurant will be able to accommodate that. Unless you're going into McDonald's, of course. But then this is probably why you're here, so stay away from McDonald's, eh? Right. You are going to get, a lot of people will get negative comments from their friends and family. And I don't get it. Well, I kind of do. It's a strange phenomenon. If you was in a nightclub downing several shots of tequila after your pint, falling out, grabbing a kebab and ended up with your skirt around your ears, it laying in the gutter, they'd be patting on your back telling you you're the best person in the world. You try and do something for yourself that's healthy and look and change your life. Everyone's got an opinion. Okay? Do not allow the opinions of others to derail you. And I'm telling you now, if, for example, the person who was telling you this advice, "Oh, you're looking too skinny," or "You're doing this," or "Don't do that," rah, 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 I know for a fact their physique isn't going to be a good one. If Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, told you, then I might listen. Right? But it isn't going to be him. Okay? And I don't know what it is. I think some people are jealous. They wish that they could have the willpower or the wherewithal to just try something like this. So that's a jealousy. There's an envy, because jealous people are like a bit snaky, right? Envy, they still love you, but they still wished that they could do it. So they try and sabotage you because it make them feel a little bit better about themselves not doing anything. And then you also get the people that just aren't used to seeing you looking so slim or ripped or whatever you're getting to, right? A bit like when you've got the nephews you haven't seen for 6 weeks, he pops around and goes, "Oh my God, he's sharp," and they haven't seen it. So it's a bit of a, or if I shave my head right now, I'd look really weird, wouldn't I? After about 2 weeks, you'd kind of get used to it. If I put the hair back on, I'd look weird. Like if you put hair on Bruce Willis, he'd look odd, wouldn't he? So people just aren't used to seeing you, because this is going to be a big change. This isn't like, I'm going to lose a pound, or I don't like talking about weight, to be fair. This isn't going to, I'm going to like just lean up a little bit. This is going to be like life changing. This is going to be, I'm going to turn myself into a fitness influencer, or I'm going to drop 3 dress sizes. No saggy skin, by the way. Okay. So don't allow other people. I can make you fat again in a week if you like, by the way. So don't worry about it. We can reverse it anytime you feel like it. So if you ever go, I have a lot of people sometimes say, oh, Scott, I'm feeling a bit skinny or whatever else. And I have a look at them thinking, no, mate, you've got plenty more to go there, son. Right? And I go to him, can I just ask you a question? Is that your opinion or someone else's? And then it comes out, well, you know, me brother or me mate at work or whatever it is. I go, come on, man, what do you think? What do you actually think? Well, I think I look amazing. I went, me too. Let's keep going. And if you ever do truly go past where you want to be, as I said, I can reverse it fast. Yeah. So if you actually do feel like that, let me know. Say, Scott, I feel like I don't need to lose any more fat now. I'm going to, like, what should we do? And I will tell you honestly. I've told some people, go and have a roast dinner, for goodness sake. And they won't listen to me sometimes. And I make them eat, like, something a bit more naughty. But I'll tell you one thing, everybody. The top of the mountain is in the middle of the program, not day 75. So the hardest bit is the middle bit. Okay. What I need you to do is not focus on that, but be aware it's coming, because that's where most people fall. But it only lasts a couple of weeks. If you can dig deep and fight for your life, that 2 weeks, it's easy after that because you see the finish line in sight, and then you don't want it to end. It goes too fast. But that middle part is that reality kicking in. Oh, I'm only halfway. I don't want to do this anymore. Whatever. It's this playing with you. So you have to keep your head there, because if you give up, you fail. If you never give up, then you win. And even if you fall and get back up, you win. But don't get to 500 yards from the top of that mountain and turn around and go back down the same side again, for goodness sake. Let's just get over it and crack on back to the finish line. Promise it'll be your Christmas day for adults like you wouldn't believe. It's an emotion that day that no one can really put a name on it or a word on it. It's ups and downs, and it's an incredible feeling that you should all feel at least once in your life. One of my favorite quotes from Bruce Lee is, defeat is a state of mind. No one can ever truly be defeated unless they accept defeat as a reality. So if you carry that also through your life, if you never accept that it's over, never accept that it's defeat, you can't, it's physically impossible to be defeated, because there was that still going, well, I'll go that way then, or I'll go that way then. So think of that while you're on here as well, because you all have times when you will feel like, oh, but that time when you want a beer, so do I. When you want a glass of wine, so do I. Also, so do we. When you go in the cupboard looking at the chocolate, so do we. But together, we're going to stick to the plan. Okay? When you learn that, at the end, that's when you do change your relationship with food. And you decide then what goes in instead of it deciding when it goes in. I think you all understand what I mean by that. Right. Oh, sugar, I forgot about these little notes I put here. I've probably answered them anyway. Did I miss anything on here? A lot of people ask me, why do men and women, why are you eating the same? And what the question I think really is if a 18-stone man with little hands has the same portion as a 8-stone woman with slightly bigger hands, how is that right? Right? Okay, well, first of all, he shouldn't be 18 stone. So the fact he's 18 stone is the problem, not his hand size. Secondly, this is not all set in stone. I change people's food as we go through all the time. But this is about balancing your body and balancing your hormones. There's a certain amount of protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, botanicals we need inside our body for it to work at its optimum. When it works at its optimum, it burns fuel efficiently, which is fat. It builds and maintains muscle. Your skin, your hair, the whites of your eyes, your teeth, your nails all become more radiant. The anxiety disappears. And you start to feel how a human body should feel, and you actually live instead of just exist. So if you're a size 8, maybe you should be eating more than the man who's a size 8, who's 18 stone. No. So this isn't about that. This is about building a machine that works at its optimum by balance. And that's why the Six Pack Revolution outperforms every other program worldwide, because it's different. And it is how the human body should be fed. So I give the analogy of a log burner. If you want that log burner to burn fuel efficiently all day, you wouldn't put the kindling in, the paper in, light it all up, then wait for it all to fizzle out. A couple of hours later, put it all in, light it all up. You just stick a log on every hour and you just crack on, run it all day long. Perfectly. Yeah. Okay. Life's an obstacle course, right? And I use that in Six Pack as well, that your challenges, see them as an obstacle course. See the whole program as an obstacle course. Your job's to get from the beginning to the end. That's what life's all about, isn't it? And obstacles will come in your way. And so they should, because the tougher the harder the fight, the more euphoric the win. So don't think to yourself, well, like for example, we had a guy who broke his leg in 3 places on week 2, not because of Six Pack at work. Luckily, he was already on it. I gave him battle rope exercises in a chair, and he lost 4 stone of fat and had one of the best results of all time. And the reason his result was even better than everyone else is because here, he didn't allow the obstacle. He used it as a reason to fight, not an excuse to fall. Use life's obstacles as a reason to fight and not an excuse to fall. Right? And when you find that, when you realize that tough is good, and if we take the easy road, we'll get a hard life. If we take the hard road, we get an easy life. Then you can start to enjoy those obstacles, and actually then you really actually enjoy yourself. And when a tough one comes my way, I go, come on in, let's have it. Because I know it's going to make me better after, whatever it is, even if it seems bad at the time. I assume it's for my good. I live like the world is rigged in my favor. And ever since I've done that, it has been. And the great thing about what I kind of preach is there's no downside, is there? There's no downside to believing yourself. There's no downside to being positive. There's no downside to assuming the best in every scenario. There's no downside into radiating that across all your friends and family and teaching the kids how to be the same. But there is a downside to not believing in yourself, to not trusting and assuming the best, and to believing the world's against you, believing that you can't instead of you can, because you can. So let's twist that, because it hasn't worked for the last several decades for you all, has it? Doing it the other way. Let's try it just for 10 weeks. Doing it that way. Just see. You never know. Yeah? Good. I also ask, why do people join many waves? Some people say to me, why do people join many waves if it works? Well, what's the whole point? If it worked, you wouldn't join if it didn't, would you? You wouldn't go to a restaurant that kept giving you food poisoning, would it? So people join many waves because they get so much value out of it. It's a bit like if you go to the gym, you don't stop after 10 weeks. If it's giving you value, you go for 10 years. If you doing a Pilates, a boxercise, a Zumba, I could go on forever. So the reason people join many waves is because it's life-changing and they love it and they get loads of value for it for the price of less than half a cost of coffee a day, by the way. And I cut down your coffee as well, so it basically pays for itself. I am going to ask in the groups sometimes if you will share certain posts that I posted on our social media. Please don't get angry with me. If you don't want to share it, don't. Just ignore me. You're big and ugly enough to ignore me, right? Don't let me affect you negatively in any way, shape, or form. Just ignore me if it's something you're not interested in. But I am going to ask. Because if I can I'm trying to save the world. And if I can reach another person that sees something you've posted because they were looking at that time, then I'm going to ask. But you don't, nothing's obligatory. I'm just asking. Okay. If you haven't already, follow the Six Pack Revolution and myself at Instagram, Twitter, well, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is Six Pack Revolution. I'm full up on Facebook, I'm afraid. So would you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok? If you're not on those platforms, don't. I'm just saying. And sometimes I post certain things and certain promos and stuff on my own personal stuff as well, just to mix it all up a bit. Let's have a quick look on this thing here. Right, I think I'm done, my people. So now we can hand it over to you. I don't know if you can actually delete ones that I've already answered, but if I've answered them, I am going to just say I've answered that, because we need to get moving quick, okay? Because we've got so many people. And also, don't forget, you can watch it back. And also, you are going to have a Q&A tomorrow in the groups as well. You can ask absolutely anything too. So Sam, over to you.
Okay, it's just a couple on email, but just trying to check to see whether they've already been answered. You've answered that one as well. I think we'll answer them on email tomorrow. So we'll start with the top here. So somebody is saying, what happens if through no fault of our own we miss a meal?
Then just don't do it again.
Okay. Charlotte is saying, what's the difference between the protein shakes and meal replacements?
Answer that.
Okay. Shannon says, I have an allergy to vegetable-based oils, including olive oil. I usually saute in a bit of water. How bad is it to skip the olive oil in the recipes that call for it?
We'll change it for another oil, or you can change it for an avocado. You can change it for 6 almonds, so 6 pecan halves. The swaps were on page 16. You need your fats as well. So make sure if you take something out, you replace it with the like for like.
Jill says, can I do my run on the treadmill?
Yes.
Lucy says, are the overnight oats gluten-free?
No, I answered that.
Oh, sorry. Georgina says, can you swap corn for meat and fish? Unsure if that's a like for like.
Yes. Protein for protein.
Are there any USA product recommendations to replace Ryvita,
No idea.
but have an alternative, which is the rice cake?
Yeah, you can have rice cake. You can choose switch it for yeah, they must have rice cakes in America, mustn't they?
Liz says, can I use almond milk instead of soy? I know you've answered that. And also, is the net effect of the plan deficit calories? I ask because it's a massive increase in my intake.
I have no idea. I don't focus on calories, and I want you to stop focusing on calories. I don't know what your calorie. I haven't asked anyone what their calorie intake, calorie maintenance levels are, and I never have in 7 years. And we've got the best results on planet Earth from everyone. So stick to the plan and stop focusing on the stuff that you've probably been doing for years and years and years, and hasn't actually. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, I guess. So I want to try and change your head a bit and try and get you to do something different. You know, as Einstein said, the sign of madness is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Let's try something different.
Okay.
But you can eat a lot more food with a lot less calories.
Yes. Mark says, on the rehearsal challenge, is it 20 side jumps in total or 20 per leg?
In total.
Okay. Okay, you've answered this one as well. Barbara says, alternatives to running if cannot run, speed walk, rowing, and then she put Tony Little Gazelle.
Up to you.
Question mark.
You can do, but there'll be an alternative on the challenge as well anyway, which is usually a battle road alternative.
Okay. Oh, we've got lots of people. This was prior to. Okay, Charlotte says, can we swap running for swimming on challenges?
You can. We've got other alternatives, because it's a bit weird swimming and then getting. If you want to swim, get out, do your jumping jacks and your press ups and run, and and battle rope whips, then jump back in the pool again. It's up to you if you've got that facility right next to you. But otherwise, just follow the plan. But you can, yes.
Okay. Lynette says, instead of a snack that needs to be prepared, can I have a piece of fruit or something like carrot sticks?
No, stick to the plan.
Okay. Is this being recorded? Yes, it is.
Remember what I said about balance. Having that carrot stick on its own is carbs and sugar. Where's the protein? Where's the fats? Karen.
Orlando says, am I okay to have meal replacement shakes in substitute for food sometimes?
2 meals, 2 shakes, 2 snacks. Stick to the plan.
Do I have to do that every day of the week?
But you can go, you can mix them up. So if you one day you want to do 3 meals, 3 snacks, another way you want to do 2 meals, 2 snacks, 2 shakes, you can. But I mean, it's pretty simple. The 3 different options, so you can mix around those if you like. But I'm not sure what is. You stick to those options. So you can't go, well, I'm going to have 4 meal replacement shakes, for example, or 3 meal replacement shakes to replace all 3 meals. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's confusing people.
Yeah.
You might be saying to yourself, how comes I'm having 2 meal replacement shakes and that's replacing a meal and a snack because I'm still having 2 meals and 2 snacks, right? So if that's the question, then very good question. And that's because we know what's in the shake, right? So I'm trying to work out this balance for you that kind of works itself out throughout the whole week. So there's a little bit of methods to my madness. So if you're going to have 2 meal replacement shakes, I want it to replace a snack and a meal, because we don't know always what's in the meal and in the snack. But with those 2 shakes, I know exactly how much calories, carbs, fats, etc., 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 etc. Okay, so that might look strange to you, but trust me with those 3 options: 2 meals, 2 shakes, 2 snacks, plus a post-workout shake. 1 shake, 2 meals, 3 snacks, plus a post-workout shake, or 3 meals, 3 snacks, plus a post-workout shake or meal.
Okay. Peter says, I don't have enough room for battle ropes, so I'm thinking of joining a gym that has them. My question is, do I need to? If so,
You'll need battle ropes to do this program. However, we have thousands of people that live in flats and apartments all over the world, and they take them to the communal area over the park. As I said, I'm happy to come out with you live and do battle ropes out in the street if you like, or in the park, or wherever you want me to go. I'll happily do it to show you that it's quite good fun. Or find the gym that does it and go and use them in the gym and do your runs on the treadmill.
okay. Rachel says, I'd like to have post-workout shakes instead of meals, but I don't want to purchase powders. I assume it's okay to make my own based on high protein shake recipes?
No, stick to the plan. Right, so you don't just make up recipes, otherwise you'll get to the end and wonder why you don't look like everyone else, or you haven't had the results like everyone else. So if you don't want to do any shakes whatsoever, powder ones, that's fine. Go to 3 meals and 3 snacks. And in those snacks, you'll see that you've got smoothies and stuff anyway, if you fancy something like that, made from food. But you stick to the recipes of the Six-Pack Revolution. And you can't have a post-workout shake as a meal. It's not a meal. It's a bit of protein with some branched chain amino acids in it. So you can't have a post-workout shake as a meal. No, post-workout shake is a post-workout shake. So you have it after your workout. A meal replacement shake is a meal replacement shake. 2 different things.
Somebody said, why does weighing yourself slow you down?
Here. This isn't just a physical program. This is a mental and emotional program. You will slow yourself down here, stress yourself out, raise your cortisol levels. You hold on to fat a little bit more. And also mentally, you haven't got over this crazy ball and chain that you put around your own neck. That's why you're going to have a slower result than everyone else, physically, mentally, and emotionally. By the way, I should have warned everybody. Actually, I forgot about this. I usually say this right at the beginning. I am a pain in the backside. You are going to think sometimes that I'm harsh, or I'm rude, or I'm some kind of egotistical nutcase. But I've got 75 days to get you a result that takes 2 years. If I start blowing smoke up your backside and leaving leeway here, there, and everywhere, you'll all start doing this and doing that, not getting. Well, he didn't really say no, did he? So I say no. Then you know it's a no. If there's any leeway there and you start messing about and you get to, well, Scott, that didn't work, did it? Well, hang on a minute. You have an extra biscuit every day. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you no. All right. So I'm here to give you the answer that's going to get you the best result of your life. So I'm going to say things that you probably think, well, that was a bit near the point, wasn't it? Well, that's the answer. The answer is no. If you want what you've seen from everyone else, if you want to come away from this as a new person in every way possible that loves yourself, not these people that are all telling me they hate themselves, then you've got to stick to this plan. And as I said, stop trying to find loopholes, stuff like this. So much there's hundreds of recipes, right? And there's something like 67,000 variations. All right, you've got so much choice. Yeah. So I'm telling you it with love. I'm here for you all day, every day, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If you don't like that truth, you want to complain to me, wherever, no problem. Give me a call. We'll have a chat. All right. But don't get offended if I say something that's like a bit to the point. All right. It's just kind of making it clear to you that let's do this properly. And I'm saying it with love, always, because I want the best for you at the end.
Rebecca is saying, do we have to have a meal or snack before doing dailies?
No.
I don't know whether this explains it a bit better. Angela says, can you switch between all meals and meals with meal replacements? And if so, can you switch week to week or day to day?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So each day is your six-pack revolution. Whatever way you want to do that day on the options I've given, you can.
Karen says, I have a breakfast confusion. Am I better off starting with a snack or a meal?
Entirely up to you. And try not to get too wrapped up in like breakfast has to be a meal. You know, when you think like breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're thinking, well, meal. Why? You can have oats for breakfast. It's a snack. So what? Yeah, if you call them all meals, if you like, or all eatings, if you remove the words meal and breakfast and all that, and you just eat whatever you want, when you want, throughout that day, as long as that last meal is a snack, good, because I don't want you to go to bed on a full stomach, then you win.
Okay. I can just see other people answering for other people in the chat.
Please don't answer, because you're putting more text into the thing, and it's making it harder for us to get through them. And like it's 9:15 already, and I know people are sitting there thinking, oh my god, when's this going to end? And obviously if you want to leave at any time, people, you can, and watch this back. So I do appreciate that. I don't want you to sit here bored to death and think, oh, I'm not going to ever go on a Zoom again. You can come in and out, do what you like, it's fine. Okay.
Somebody says, do you have to wear a sports bra and shorts? Can you wear a bikini?
You mean for your photos, I assume?
Yes.
If you're going to do your jumping jacks in your bikini and start running down the street. Well, if you are, tell me where you live. I'm going to film that one and put it out everywhere. No, jokes aside, you can wear a bikini if you wish. Although, for some reason, I think whatever you want.
Paolo says, any good tips for following the meal plan for people who work in an office from 8 till 6?
Yeah, sorry, 1 second. The person with the bikini, only make sure you're always wearing a bikini though, because it doesn't do a like for like when you've got the brief going up and then or your pair of shorts going across, you know. So make sure you stick to whatever you're going to do. Well, it's not really that difficult, mate. I used to be in my car on the road 10 hours a day when I started Six Pack, and I would take it in my cool bag, and I would just eat my meals and snacks. We've got the 6 Ready bag, which is actually made for this program. There's 6 compartments. You've got a place for your sups at the top and your bottle and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, you just take it to work with you. If your biggest obstacle is taking some food to work, you are winning on this program, trust
me. Laura says, what do we do? Do we suck our tummy in or let it all hang out in the photos?
I want you to let it all hang out at this stage, because I need to see the fat. Yeah, so no point do we suck in on any photo on the Six Pack Revolution. No sucking in, please. It looks ridiculous. Okay, just let us see where you are. I'm going to teach you some definition stuff later to help engage those abs, but that's way down. All right. Let it all hang out. Don't hide anything. Yeah, otherwise we're not going to see it disappear, are we?
Somebody has said, I may be a bit premature since we've hardly started, but at the end of the wave, will we also receive guidance on how to sustain a healthy lifestyle outside of the program?
Yes, I have answered that. I'm going to teach you how to keep your results and still party twice a week.
But your focus is to get to day 76. Did you already say that?
Your first job is to get to the finish line first.
Somebody says, where do you upload the photos?
You can answer that, Sam, or me?
You can.
You'll be sent a link into your groups and via email for Dropbox, and it will say you're to get 2 options to go to no to social media or yes to social media. But you will never be posted without me asking you first again anyway.
Sarah's saying, could you recommend recipes to batch cook and freeze? I'm one of the ones with a young family and I batch cook a lot. Do not have time.
Pretty much all of them. The only ones that I don't freeze is fish, but that's because I don't like fish regurgitated after it's frozen. It's okay to freeze fish, but they're all, you can batch cook and freeze all of them. Obviously, you're not going to do it with yogurt, berries and almonds, but the meals, you can pretty much do them all. They're all cooked with whole foods from scratch, no problem.
Also ask in your group, because lots of people may have ideas as well, and your coaches. Joe says, when should we be submitting our first photo?
I believe you will get the links sent into the groups tomorrow and then Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So you'll get new links every week where you can upload your photos.
Yeah.
Oh,
and while Sam's looking for the next one, you'll get your on a Saturday, you'll get your, if you're signature, you'll get your challenge delivered on a Saturday and your abs delivered on a Sunday, and then on a Wednesday you'll get your next challenge, because you get 2 a week. In extreme, you'll get it on a Saturday, just every Saturday, and then intensive, you get 1 week signature, 1 week extreme. So you have Saturday 1 week and then Saturday and Wednesday the following week.
Stephanie would like some opinions of smoothie shakes, which is the best flavour. Maybe that was for the chat rather than the Q&A.
Oh, okay. Well, they're all delicious. My favourite post-workout, I think, it's really hard because they're all so good. I think my favourite post-workout is the vanilla caramel heaven post-workout. And the meal replacement, I like them all, I think I like them.
Okay, I can still see people putting questions in the chat rather than the Q&A. There's a lot to go through, so we will get to them. If at the end we don't answer, we'll be asking you if you have any other questions. Ashley says, what's popping?
Oh, I call it popping. Did you watch the welcome video? Make sure you go back into your group and watch the welcome video. The first video come in. I call it popping when in 12 days you'll see someone and you're like, whoa, like they've got a result already. How did that happen? I call that popping. Most people don't pop till the final 2 weeks. But you'll see people pop all the way through. That's just what I call it. Get amazing results. Popping. Next one.
Daniel says, I'm on keto. Is that a problem?
Don't do this. Daniel, you've cut the 90% of your results are coming from the food. If you don't follow the food on here, you're wasting your time. It's like going to a Jamie Oliver restaurant and saying, can I eat Gordon Ramsay, please? Like, keto is, well, my opinion, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. High fat, and just check out the downsides of keto. I'll leave that one to you to Google. If you don't follow this plan 100% 7 days a week to the finish line, this plan, not keto, then you are wasting your time completely. Okay? You've come to a fitness and nutrition program, you're doing someone else's nutrition. And it's a terrible one as well. Yeah, high fat, cutting out carbs altogether. What's that about?
Mark says, how does the running factor in? I'm trying couch to 5K.
You'll be able to do 5K in a couple of weeks' time on Six Pack, mate. So yeah, you'll love it.
Scott says, how do we deal with injuries we are carrying or develop throughout? My lower back seized a few days ago, but is taking a while to sort out. Don't want to miss the press ups.
Okay, well, you've got to look after yourself, and especially when it comes to your back, you don't want to pull your back out. You could be out for months. So we will just have to do easy versions of everything and make sure you look after yourself. We can, as I said earlier, we can bend with the wind. So you can speak to your coach if you can't work out an alternative yourself, or a lighter way of doing it yourself, or you can work it out yourself.
Okay, Anne says if we're allowed decaf green tea, can we substitute the 2 black teas or coffees with caffeinated green tea?
Yes.
Rada says some of the snacks contain 3 eggs. Do we need to adjust the number of eggs depending on our size, male, female, or does everyone eat the same number of eggs?
Correct. No, you don't have to adjust. All eat the same.
Okay. Anne says in the guide, you say you can have a minimum of 2 hours and a maximum of 4 hours between meals. Are you counting the snacks into this? Do you mean a minimum? Right.
Yes, you eat 6 times a day, and you have 2 to 4 hours between them. That gives you. Don't get me wrong. If you're a surgeon or a nurse, and you're stuck in a theatre for 8 hours because you can't leave, that's life. Just come out and crack on. Yeah, but if life's going well, we try and get it in between 2 to 4 hours.
Anne says, can most of the recipes be frozen?
Yes, I've just answered that.
Okay. How do you? Oh, I don't know what that is. Emma says, how long does it take to start feeling better in ourselves?
Good question. So we have some people, depending on how much of a sugar monster you are, you may feel a bit of a detox in the first weeks. That might be a bit fluey, headachy, whatever else, but you've got to keep with it, because when you get through that, it will be like you've been plugged in. So, but not all of you will feel that. Some of you, it might be, boom, day 2, I feel like $1 million. Every body is different, so I can't give you numbers and days that, oh, you're going to feel like that on this day, or you're going to feel like that on this day. But that's why it's a 75-day program, not a 25.
Lauren says, how do you get past the need for tea and coffee? I guess initially, if you've already lived on a lot.
You could, yeah, I guess you're a tea and coffee monster. You are allowed 2 a day, and you know, we've got ardent alcoholics on this program. I'm sure you can manage to sort your tea out. You'll be surprised. My favorite tea actually is sliced ginger, fresh, and a squeeze of lemon juice with boiling water. Literally, the minute you take the first mouthful, you feel your body go, yeah. So I recommend that to everyone as their new tea, and I'd say lay off the coffee and the tea personally, and just have that every day. You'll get a better result. But I'm also aware that I've got to keep you engaged for 75 days, so I'm allowing 2 coffees and teas a day. No milk, no sugar. No splashes of milk, no almond milk, no soy milk, no cow's milk, no milk, black, no sugar.
Charlie says, where do I find the challenge template?
It will be posted in your group, and don't forget what I said at the beginning. Everything important that day will be posted into featured at the top as well. And also, there's a magnifying glass icon. You can just click on your search at the top of your button and type in a keyword, like, for example, Zoom, and this will come up. Or the link to this will come up, and tomorrow the actual recording will come up just because you typed in Zoom. If you type in, and you might have to scroll down a few, but it will be there. If you type in rehearsal, because that's what it's called, the first one, for example, that will come up. So you can type in keywords as well, or challenge.
Anna says, I take supplements. Do I need to stop these, or can I take them as well as the ones suggested?
It depends why you're taking them. If you take them because they've been prescribed for a condition that you've got, but if you've just walked into Holland and Barrett and the red on the back of every packet and like just bought the whole shop because it tells you it's going to turn you into a superhero, I'm afraid that's not the truth. And I'd need to know. So why don't you PM me and I'll have a look at what it is and why, because it might be a personal thing that you don't want to say.
Tony says, can we use HelloFresh or Gusto low-calorie meals?
No, unless they're creating 6-pack revolution meals, and if they are, let me know.
Emma liked that answer.
Arlene,
Arlene.
turn the bits out of the whole webinar.
Arlene says, how do we cope with going out with friends at a pub? What do we eat?
I've answered that.
Denise says, do you have to have a post-workout shake?
Yes, or a post-workout meal.
or an additional meal.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah, so if you're not going to have any shakes whatsoever and you train that day, you'll have 4 meals and 3 snacks. Because you have extra
Craig,
for your workout.
okay, so Craig said, is there a chance you could revise the international shipping price?
I only charge
Ireland, but it depends on where he is. If he's still in the EU, then he should go Protein Malta.
Yeah.
But if he has a postcode, he can order from us and it'll be fine.
Yeah, we only charge costs. We don't make anything out of the postage. So the postage has gone up so much in the last year or two. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I can't revise it because that's what it costs us.
Jay says, you probably said it, is it okay to assemble meals from the appropriate components, palm full of protein, handful of good carbs, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Lynn says, the post-workout shakes, is that after the twice weekly challenges?
Yes. Yeah, it's after your challenges, not your abs and dailies, just after your challenge.
Michael
And let
says,
me say that while she said twice weekly, that's the minimum. You can do it 6 times a week if you want. I just want to make that clear, yeah? Cool.
Michael says, please estimate delivery for meal and snack replacements products to US.
4 to 6 days. If the postage is good, it'll be 4 days, working days. I've got everything on Speedy.
Okay. Oh, okay. Is the post-workout shake one of the 3 snacks meals per day, or is this extra?
Extra.
Okay. Michael says, are there any nutrition bars that qualify as a snack?
No.
Good for long airline flights?
No.
Or a recipe to make one?
You can make banukis. So banukis are great to carry around with you. They're like little cookies.
Okay. Charlotte says, is the post-workout shake to be eaten after dailies?
No, I just answered that.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Emma says, can we use low-cal olive oil spray?
Yes, but I need a teaspoon of it.
Wynne says, can I switch potato to celeriac?
Yes.
What's a handful of good carbs? The fingers extended bit has confused me. For example, how would you measure this? Sorry, sweet potato versus oats.
This is a great question. Okay. So if there's ever any oats in anything, it will be measured in a actual measurement, because you can't grab a handful of oats, right? But veggies you can. So, but this is a really good question, because I want you to understand that the six-pack revolution is specific without being specific, right? So I'm not expecting you to get a template of your palm that's perfect, created on a 3D printing machine, so that you get the exact cutout made, so you can stick it in a bit of chicken and get your perfect palm, right? It's really not that heavy. That's the great thing about it, right? Roughly, yeah. And so on your veggies and stuff in salad and that, on your plate, right? I ain't got a plate here, but imagine I've got a plate. On the plate, yeah. Don't make it anal. The whole point is it is not anal, right? When it comes to oats and stuff in your recipes, there will be a measurement, because it has to be. It'd be ridiculous not to, wouldn't it? So it might be 3 tablespoons or something. Next one.
Cheryl says, is it possible to have venison as a protein swap? Ostrich is similar.
Well, kind of not. It depends on the piece of venison, to be fair. I'd rather you didn't try and find loopholes and just stick with the normal thing if possible. If you're saying to me there's no other protein in your country than venison, then we'll probably be able to go with a lean piece of it, but rather not do the red meat.
Kirsten says, I could not buy the SPR shakes online and let it ship to Germany. Is that a mistake? There's a problem on the website that's being fixed at the moment. So
yeah, but if you do it via Stripe, then it will be fine. PayPal.
Oh, I think there's another problem.
Is there?
That's being sorted at the moment. However, because he's in Germany, he could, I think it was the volume of people that went on when you started talking about shakes. He could get it from Protein Malta because he's in Germany.
you could get it from Protein Malta. If they haven't got what you need, you can still get it from us. Hopefully the thing, is someone sorting it? Is Spike sorting it?
He is, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Somebody says, does a pickle count as a fruit or a vegetable?
No pickles on this program, please.
I can't drink soy or pea milk. Can I substitute oat milk or almond?
No, but you can have hemp milk.
Okay. Stephanie says, is it 100% essential to have the battle ropes? Haven't got suitable house or outside space?
Yes, as it says on the website. Oh, I've already answered that. We can go live, we can go out if you want to. We've got thousands of people that, like literally thousands. I mean, Malta's mostly flats, and we've got loads of participants in Malta. Dubai, mostly flats. And we take them outside. We find a way over obstacles. We don't let them beat us, stop us. Certainly don't let us go backwards. Very liberating, you know.
Ruth says, can the post-workout meal be a regular protein shake?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, if she says, I don't understand when people say protein shake, does she mean a meal replacement?
No, I think she means a post-workout, so a protein shake. Can the meal be a shake? I don't understand. Do you want to bring it to the screen?
Oh, I've just made her go away. I don't know what her name was.
Oh, right, don't
I
worry.
chose answer live
PM
and
me.
done, and she disappeared.
PM me, and I'll find out what you're talking about.
Michelle says, is pork a good meat substitute?
No, there's no pork on the list.
Scott says, how big is a sweet potato? They range massively depending on where I buy them.
How long's a piece of string? How big's a piece of potato? I don't know. You tell
Big
me.
handful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big the potato is. You know, you might have parsnip, right? You don't eat the whole thing, have you? You have the palm-sized thing on the plate, right? So, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else. You have a melon. You ain't got to eat the whole melon. You just have the proportion of the melon. I love this job.
Rachel said, what can we drink apart from water?
Tea, coffee, black, no sugar.
Cheryl says,
You can put a slice of lemon in it if you want. A bit of rosemary, some mint.
some of the snacks look really big, the egg-based ones, for example, shakshuka. Are they interchangeable with the meals?
No, it's a snack. So it's really simple. Snacks are snacks, meals are meals. You know what to do. 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. And if you think that's too big, don't eat it. Choose a small one.
Ariella said, when am I allowed to eat nuts and which nuts are okay? And can they be added to protein meal, or are they instead of the protein, i.e. fish or chicken, in the meal?
Right, so what we've got to all understand, right, everyone, is that we've all got recipes, right? So in those recipes will be the ingredients. So when you have nuts, it will only be in the recipe itself. So it will tell you what's in there. But if you don't like almonds and you don't like 6 almonds, then you can switch it for 6 pecan halves. This is all on page 16. If you don't like pecans, you can switch it for like 12 pistachios or 8 pistachios. I can't remember what it is now. But so you can change your nuts within the recipe, but you're not going to be adding nuts into a protein shake because that's not on the plan. If that makes sense. I think that's what you're asking me anyway. Sam.
Jean says, what equipment other than the battle rope do we need for intensive?
A decent set of weights, like a barbell and dumbbell set with 30 to 50 kilos of weight plates that you can add and remove. So something like the Weight Kit Pro, which is on the Six Pack Revolution site. If you do decide to purchase the Weight Kit Pro, if you're in this country, because it's going to be a bit of a niche to get it out, then make sure you use your discount code that you were given when you joined. And I do believe it's also been posted in the groups as well. Make sure you use that because then you get a nice discount on it too.
Sam says, when you say the other fruit and veg, in the world, there are only a few on the list. Is this list just an example, or is it really any other fruit and veg in the world? Although don't eat potatoes.
Any other fruit and veg in the world? I did say earlier, if I couldn't write every fruit down, could I? Or every vegetable down on page 16. Right, so it's just to show you what we mean. Any other fruit or veg in the world is fine. It doesn't have to be on page 16. I couldn't fit them on. I actually don't even know every fruit in the world, probably.
Christine says, can paneer be a protein substitute?
No, the protein on page 16 is it. So there isn't any protein in the world, right? Fruit and veg, yes. The protein is the protein choices. Sam.
Laura says, I have a couple of meals planned out. Can you have the odd night off and still get results?
No.
Sarah says, I need some tips about attaching the battle rope.
Mine's wrapped around the tree stump or around the kids' trampoline leg. But you can also buy a battle rope anchor. They're really cheap online anywhere. And you can screw it to the bottom of a fence post or something. If you're indoors, you're in a flat or something, then you take it to the park, wrap it around a bench or a tree or something, or a fence, wrap it through a fence, something like that. Or wrap it around a lamppost, but find a not so busy road maybe.
Helen says, I take iron tablets. I have to take them on an empty stomach on waking, then wait an hour to eat. So I normally eat at work. Can I make an exception and exercise without eating? I prefer to exercise in the morning.
In this scenario, yes.
Every day. Jane says, will any kettlebell exercises be included? I have a set.
No. The new Sculpt program is in March. That's when it launches. It's on early bird now, so you can get the program on an early bird. While you'll find the next one, Sam. Good point. So a lot of people have been asking me. So if you want to join the March wave on early bird, there's a 19-day overlap. Now we have thousands of people that will go from January, finish January, and then jump into March 19 days late. You can still do the March exercises, but I need you to keep the nutrition all the way to the finish line to end of January. And then you can jump into March after that, which will have thousands of people do. And if you get it on early bird, that 19 days, you kind of what you save on your early bird kind of levels it out, if you like. But you'll find very quickly that the value of the program far outweighs anything anyway, so you won't even be bothered about that.
Okay. Nikki says, how can I fuel on a long bike ride? I'm concerned about energy dropping.
Okay. So first of all, don't be concerned about energy dropping because I won't allow that to happen to you. Next week, we have the Endurance Events Zoom. Make sure you're on it. It's on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. UK time, and I will teach you how to fuel and for long distance events and rides like you're talking.
Okay.
And we also have everyone who's done the 6-Pack Revolution, whether you're an Ironman, Ultra Ironman, marathon runner, ultra marathon runner, triathlete, rower, cycler, all beat their personal best whilst on the program. We had one lady, she beat her marathon by 58 minutes. And that marathon was at the end of an Ironman. She got into the Great Britain squad for over 40s.
Okay. Duncan says, does it matter what order you have your meals in each day?
I've answered that.
Okay. Okay, Dax says, I'm on a long-term antibiotic 3 days a week and have an Actimel probiotic every morning to settle my stomach due to the antibiotic. Can I still drink this? And can I also throw this into a shake?
I'd rather we allowed this program to do its magic, but maybe at the beginning, or you had a probiotic that was not a sugary drink. So I recommend you get a probiotic that's not a sugary drink. That would be my preference. But if you've been prescribed it by the doctor, I'm not allowed to get involved in your doctor's. I might have my opinions, but they probably won't like them. But I'm not allowed to get involved in that type of thing. So my recommendation would be to get a pre and probiotic that is not a sugary drink. Sam, how many more have we got here? Questions? Is there?
We have lots.
Right.
Lots, and it's hard to filter through them.
Because we,
So, sorry, go on.
let's just be really fast, even speak bang, bang, bang.
Okay, Anna says, can you have the same dinner every night?
Ah, good question. Yes. So I have my two, if I do my salmon and goji berry curry and I make 6, I actually have twice a day for 3 days. Not because I'm lazy, really. It's just one, I love it, and 2, I'm going to manage my time better. But then the next 3 days I'll have a different one. And that way it just makes my life a bit easier. And I'm eating at least 4 other times that day different food. And if you think about it, the portion sizes aren't huge. So it's like having one, really. I just split it into 2, haven't I? Yeah. So yes is the answer. Sam, next question.
Some recipes include pitters and chips. What kind of pitters and chips are included? Allowed? Wholemeal pitters
Yeah,
and
whole
chips
potatoes
are
and-
made from sweet potatoes.
yeah, it's on the recipe. Please read the recipes. I really need questions that are going to be like important that I'm answering them. So you can ask these other questions in the thing tomorrow. It's got to be, otherwise we are actually going to be here all night, aren't we? I'm happy to be here for another 2 hours. I'm worried about you lot.
Somebody says, can you leave out the curry sauce with the fish and chips?
No, stick to the plan.
Can we add a handful of vegetables to the side of the main meal? No. Can somebody use farro instead of bulgur wheat? Can you explain why decaf coffee is not allowed?
It's not allowed. It's more that the caffeine free goes through a different chemical process. It's better for you. That's all really. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you have a decaf coffee. We're just trying to make wins where we can.
Is it worth getting an air fryer?
If you want, no need.
Is there a shopping list?
No, I don't know what you want.
I
There's only so much cotton wool I can wrap you all up in. Come on, make your own shopping list.
Are prawns an acceptable protein swap?
Yes. Have you
Okay.
not read page 6? This page. Read your handbook, everybody, please. Come and ask me questions that are difficult, please.
Somebody said about the beans and pulses. Is a portion really a whole tin?
Yeah, drained and rinsed.
Do we have to exclude salt?
Yes.
Is in
There's plenty of salt in your natural salt in your food. Unless you, but if you've got low blood pressure, please PM me.
is inositol okay? I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. PM me. See, this is a problem because there's loads of things in there. You can't even get to the next question quick enough.
No. I think somebody earlier asked about making their own porridge compared to the overnight oats.
No. There's porridge on the pro. If they want to make their own porridge, they make one that's a recipe in the program. But the overnight oats has got 15 grams of protein in it.
What size kettlebell do I need to anchor my battle rope?
Well, I tried it with a 20-kilo kettlebell and it was still moving around a bit. But you might get away with 20. I might be whipping it a bit harder than you.
Do I need to eat before I train and first thing in the morning?
Preferably, yes.
Caroline says, just tested positive for COVID and feeling rough, not sure I will be ready to the start. Is it okay for me to do what I can and join in after the start when I'm well enough?
Yes, 90% of your results are coming from the food anyway. So if we can nail the food, you'll get well quicker and we can bring in the exercise when you're feeling up to it slowly but surely.
Nicola says, is the post-workout shake considered a snack?
No, it's for after a workout. I've answered these questions about 20 times, I think.
Amy said, can we get our own interim results sent to us one-to-one, even if we say do not say yes to social media?
At the end, yes. Interim results, no, we don't put them together. We don't put everyone together every day. I'll pick a handful that are going on social media. We don't template. Keep hold of your own ones, but we don't template them every week. Crikey. That would be I'd have to employ like looking out on a whole building.
Peter says, can you confirm that alcohol is strictly prohibited for the duration of SPR? I was counting on that challenge.
There is no alcohol whatsoever on this program, and please, if you haven't accepted that as a reality, you really, whoever, like, I'm not saying you, because obviously you wanted it to be that way, whoever's listening, you need to accept that as reality, or you are wasting your time. You may not as well not even bother.
Terry said, what is desiccated coconut, dried or unsweetened?
Dried, and it's like tiny little pieces of coconut. It's in every supermarket. But if you obviously, if you're in another country that hasn't got desiccated coconut, you can use other nuts.
Yes. Scott says, so spices are fine. How about soy sauce, ginger, garlic, etc.?
No soy sauce. Ginger, garlic, yes.
What's an extreme group and why eating double protein?
Because they've got no fat to lose and they're just building. It's weights.
Somebody says, what do you swap eggs for?
A different recipe.
Martha says, we lose hormones after menopause and affects our ability to lose weight. Does your menu, including so much food, take that into consideration?
This program's made for the menopause. It's all about balancing hormones. It's going to change your life forever. We've had people come off the HRT on this program. I'm not saying you do that. Obviously, that's for you and your doctor to talk about. But this is made for you. It's going to change your life forever. I'm very excited for you.
Can we incorporate vinegar, mustard, hot sauce?
No. Where does it say that on the plan?
Are yeast flakes okay to have?
I'll go some of you get my comedy.
Somebody said, I'd like to know that. Oh, you've already done that. Sorry. Can we swap a wholemeal wrap with corn tortillas?
No. Just well, I don't know. I stop finding loopholes. I can't check every single thing that's in the world. Right? If you don't want a wholemeal wrap, get a gluten-free wrap. Or
Somebody says,
well, a sweet potato wrap. They're quite cool.
yes. Somebody says they've checked Facebook, can't find this week's rehearsal challenge.
It's because it don't go until tomorrow, does it?
It's Wednesday today.
Yeah, it goes in tomorrow.
No, it goes today.
Oh, does it? I don't even know my own program.
Oh, hang on. Rainey's saying something, but I don't know where she's saying it.
Unmute yourself, Rainey. I went in today.
Yes.
Okay, so type into the search bar at the top the magnifying glass rehearsal, and you should find it.
Alternatively, you could just go into the featured section.
And it will be there.
Yeah.
You don't want to be scrolling, drive yourself mad. It's a much quicker way to just go bosh.
Can you have a shake as the last meal of the day?
Yes.
Can we also take ISO powder mixed with water if going on a long run?
No. Make sure you're on the endurance event Zoom next Wednesday.
How is it that someone thin who wants to get in better shape won't lose weight, but someone with stones to lose will?
Well, if they're thin, they'll be on extreme, so they'll be eating more. And we monitor you all the way through, right? So I change stuff all the time.
Okay.
The reason why we ask for the photos, if we can't see you, we can't help you.
Okay. I'm not even halfway down this chat. Veronica says, I have diastasis and a slip disc. I would please need to know what exercises I should be doing. So I can't do push-ups.
Okay, PM me. I mentioned diastasis recti earlier, but PM me anyway because of your slip disc, and I will speak to you one-on-one.
Somebody said, did I get a discount code or did I dream that? We did actually send a discount code out on email the other day, and you also got it on your confirmation email when you registered. Yatin says, I'm getting a sharp pain in my right elbow when doing push-ups. Is there a solution to this or an alternative?
Maybe you're not doing them right. Maybe you've got an injury. So never train in pain, and just leave them out. And if it's if it's in your dailies, then leave them out. Or if you do have a set of dumbbells, you can, and you haven't got a bench. If you've got a bench, you can use a bench, or you can also lay on the floor and do floor press and push the dumbbells above, and be careful your elbows hitting the floor, so nice and controlled. And you can do floor press instead of your press ups. About to fall apart behind me. And you can do use that instead. But if you're in pain, then, and that still hurts, leave it out. And just, if there's a press up in your challenges, then you can just switch it for another exercise in your challenges. What do you like to do? I keep going because I'm going in reverse. I can't work out what's going on here, but. Sam.
Somebody said, you have shakes without sucralose, ? I can't eat it.
The vegan shakes have stevia.
Okay. Goodness.
But let me make this clear to everyone. The vegan shakes taste nothing like the whey shakes. So even though they're the same flavor, they are different because they are not whey. So if you're not vegan, I mean, I like them all, but the whey one's far nicer, I think, than the vegan. If you are vegan and you're used to vegan shakes, then these will be life-changing. Like, you won't believe how nice these ones are because you're used to a vegan shake because they taste a bit different. So let me make that clear. They don't taste, my mum prefers them to the whey, I don't. And I think the majority would prefer whey if they're not vegans.
Okay.
But they taste great as far as vegan shakes go. They're much better.
Lorna says, when's the best time to take the supplements?
Whenever you like. Just every day. I take mine in the morning.
If we want to register for March, can we get a discount or priority access?
It's already on the discount now, so early bird.
Emma says, how long does it take for high blood pressure to return to normal?
I don't know. Everybody's different.
Will you be giving guidance about how to do press ups safely and correctly?
Yes, there's a video. And also I've already spoke about it tonight as well. If you can't do it on your feet, go to your knees.
Joelle says, high blood pressure, but no tablets. Do I just crack on?
Yes.
Somebody said, what about having anemia?
This program will give you all the vitamins and minerals that you need. But if you're taking iron supplements now, stick with those, and let's see how you go through. Because obviously you need to get what I call rewired. We rewire the body and mind, but it doesn't happen on day one. So there's a process. So stick with your iron supplements if you are taking them.
Okay. Sarah says bariatric surgery, okay, but what about C-section?
As long as you're repaired and you're fine and there's no issues, then you can carry on training like normal and listen to your body as everyone should, regardless of C-section.
Priya says, what about a small portion of brown rice?
No. There's no brown rice in the program.
Shah said, when are the challenges announced?
Don't ask me. We've said this.
Did you?
Yeah, we said Wednesdays and Saturdays and da 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 da.
Okay. I have to listen and read at the same time, so
Multitasking.
well, not very good. Luce says the challenges were set today. When are they due to be done by? They'd be done by Saturday, when the next one, Saturday midnight and Wednesday midnight, if you're bi-weekly, sorry. Oh gosh. Is there anything to think about if you're type 2 diabetic on meds?
Yes, that your life's about to change. I would be very, very, very confident that your blood sugars will be heading back to normal, if not normal, by the time you finish. Type 2. Type 1, of course, is different. You can't cure type 1 diabetes. But I will say that type 1s, it will still also be life-changing. So, for example, it depends, obviously, if you've got a machine or if you're injecting. We've had a lot of people go from injecting 7 times a day down to 1, just doing your slow release now. You might have to do a few hypos at the beginning. Ultimately, it's your responsibility to look after yourself, but that will level itself out as well. If you need to speak to, if a type 1 needs to speak to another type 1, I've also got many on the program that would be happy to speak to you as well. Next one.
Could you please send out a post with the safe exercises for diastasis recti? I don't know what exercises are safe. A lot of advice is contradictory. I have made a note, so we will send that to her direct. We don't actually put a post out for everybody. Does this program affect HRT treatment?
Only positive. No, only we've had participants that's come off the HRT on the program, but everyone's different, so I can't give you definitive answers. So just stick to the plan and enjoy the magic as it happens.
Kat says, can I take biotin supplements?
If they're why? I need to know why. PM me.
Okay.
If you're just doing it because if someone's prescribed it, it's different. If you're just doing it because you think they're good for you and stuff, then no. While we're on the program, I'd like you to just stick to the plan and let the nutrition do its magic without intervention from other supplements, because it can skew with everything.
Therese says, I take Flexi supplements for severe arthritis. Would I need to keep taking them?
Well, we have a lot of success with arthritis on this program. Like, people go, oh my God, my symptoms are so much easier. But if you're severe, then I don't want you to be in pain. So you can carry on taking them for sure. That's a different reason.
Same to Kat then. Is there an optimum time of the day to exercise, or does it not matter too much?
I like to exercise at the beginning of the day because I have a great day after, because I'm in that great place. I've exercised and you feel better. But for your physical transformation, I would say it's probably not an optimal time of day. I would just train when you are more likely to do it and not procrastinate and put it off.
Okay. Sorry, I just got distracted. So with the handful of carbs, do you need more than one type? So not just sweet potato, but also some sort of vegetable too?
It's follow the recipe. If you're creating your own, it doesn't matter. You can do a mix.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about thyroid function for anyone on medication for under or overactive thyroid, please?
Again, I feel like I say the same thing for every condition, but you can speak to our head coach, Annie. Actually, she's like my head coach, and she suffered with all thyroid issues and stuff. And everybody that's come through us with those issues have again had their symptoms vastly reduced, all of them.
Michelle says, can you explain the difference between authentic Greek yogurt versus Greek style yogurt in the US? If the label says Greek yogurt, is that okay?
Yeah. Authentic is actually strained differently, and the other one they just sort of like make it more synthetically with flavor and stuff. But it's fine. They do put the protein in, and a lot of countries don't have the authentic, so it's an okay second option. And also vegans will not obviously eat real Greek yogurt, so we have authentic too, style as well for them, which is fine.
Angela says, I often do a long cycle on Sunday morning and use protein gels.
No, make sure you're on the endurance event Zoom on Wednesday.
Okay.
They're slowing you, then protein gels are slowing you down, by the way. But I explain why on that Zoom.
Louise says, I have genetic hemochromatosis, iron overload, and have to limit foods with high iron content, and also can't take anything with iron supplements. Do the meal replacements, etc., have iron added?
Yeah, they do have in their vitamins and stuff, but you would need to obviously work that out yourself. Or you've probably been given levels that you can stick to. So if you look at that, and the great thing about Sixpack is that you can switch like for like. So if it's an iron-rich protein or iron-rich vegetable, you can switch it for a low iron version. So that's what's so cool about it. So it should still be able to follow the plan the same as anyone else. But if you need my help, just PM me and we'll go through it.
Madhu says, does the plan help reduce cholesterol?
Yes. But we've got to remember, it might raise your good cholesterol, which is great. So you need to understand cholesterol properly to understand your reading. But yeah, it will be, if you've got high cholesterol and bad cholesterol, it will be life-changing for you.
Liz says, do you have to do the warm down before the dailies or just the challenges?
I would say just the challenges.
Okay. Should I also fit my other classes such as body pump in, which I
Yeah,
like?
why not? Enjoy it. Yeah, I encourage more exercise. Brilliant.
If you prefer running, can you do running instead of certain challenges?
No. You can run as well as the challenges, but we want a full body workout. We're going to make. See, let me tell you about exercise. Exercise is very good for you. It's good for your bone density. It's good for your mind. It's good for your posture. It's an investment in your future. It's good for your joints. So you need to move everything really and invest in it. And weight training is very good for that as well. So we're whipping ropes is whipping weights. So it's good for your definition as well. So I fully recommend that you do the challenges as well if you want to really move forward.
Karen says, I play 3 lots of football a week and 2 gym sessions. Will this be too much with the workouts too?
Depends on the person. So I train 6 days or 6 times in 5 days. So it depends on you really. So I don't know you. So that's a really hard one to answer. But if you can cope with it and you're enjoying it, then great, why not?
Shona says, what are the glute exercises?
You'll see them come out when they come out in with your dailies, if I'm not mistaken.
How high from the ground should the anchor for the battle rope be?
It should be quite low, really. It can be on the ground if you're screwing it in, or it could be at the bottom of a fence post.
Can we do rowing machine instead of running?
Yes.
And does Signature have dailies too?
Yes.
Let's have a look here. So Anna says her idea of a salad is lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, spring onions and radishes. Is that all okay as long as it's all in my handful?
Yes.
Stephanie says, I'm 68. Should I still be using a 9 meter 38mm rope? Can I use something lighter?
Well, everyone will find them heavy at first. We've got people in their 70s whipping ropes. So it's a bit of a knack as well. So you'll get used to it. And at the beginning, just take it slowly. But if you can find a lighter rope, I think sometimes you can find a 7-meter rope. I think they do exist. So maybe you can find a 7-meter rope to use instead.
Emma says no saggy skin, but what about cellulite?
Again, everyone's different. Cellulite's hard to disappear. It depends where it is. So I can't guarantee anything or tell you. Let's just focus on what we want instead of what we don't want.
Sharon is saying, is sparkling water okay?
No,
Anne says, are our first photos due Thursday this week or on Thursday the 19th?
this week. I should elaborate on the why no sparkling water. So sparkling water can trigger IBS. It can cause bloating. We're trying to get you a flat tummy. I've got 75 days to get you a result that will take most people 2 years. About 70% of people in the world suffer with IBS and don't even know it. And this is one of the big triggers, carbonated water and carbonated drinks. So I don't want to jeopardize anything, and I'm going to nick wins wherever I can. So no sparkling water.
Somebody says, is there an easy way to identify starchy meals that we should only have one of each day? Worried that I'll accidentally eat too much of these in one day.
Read your handbook. It's in there.
And also on your meal plans, the examples, if the recipe is in blue, that's a starchy carb for that recipe and for that day. Ruth is saying, why no red meat?
Because it's not very good for you. It stays in the colon a long time. It's high in fat. Even if you have a lean piece, it can high in fat and salts and stuff. We've got 75 days to get you a 2-year result, so we are not eating red meat. And then if just Google the downsides of eating red meat, and it saved me spending loads of time doing this, because we've got a big lot of questions to get through.
Zoe says, I'm on depot injection. Is there anything I need to adjust on diet?
PM me.
Okay. Hannah says, I'm really shy and getting nervous about uploading challenge videos. Can I send direct to the trainer and not into the Facebook group?
No, you can't. But if you really don't want to do that, then just don't send them. But I would encourage you to step outside your comfort zone and stop worrying about other people, what they think, and just embrace the program and do everything that it asks you to do. But it's your choice. If you really, I don't want it to be a problem for you. So if you don't want to send them in, don't.
Okay, do we need to record every element of each challenge to upload, or will just the Strava map my run bit suffice?
We trust you. So yeah, you don't have to send us like 30 minutes of video in. Just and we also sometimes, like, if we can just look at some of your exercise, see how you're getting on. If we see that you're training in flip flops, for example, we can then turn around and say, can you please put some trainers on?
Can you make a latte with meal replacement coffee and almond milk, because this includes the coffee allowance? There's
a latte lovers shake that you can use as one of, if you like lattes, which is quite nice. What did she ask? So what was that again? As one of your coffees?
Because this includes the coffee allowance, question mark.
Ah, right. So if you're doing for example, a vanilla meal replacement shake, you want to put your coffee allowance into the shake, if that's what you're asking me, and you're just adding your coffee, your black coffee, into your vanilla meal replacement shake, if that's what you're asking me, then yes, you can.
Somebody said they might have a small hernia. How does exercise work with that?
It will depend on the hernia. People train on hernias for years. It depends how debilitating it. If you find that it's becoming irritating, you're aggravating it, then we need to find a different exercise.
Anywhere I can find your recipe book seems to be sold out everywhere.
Very good question. The recipe book has been taken off because I've got a potential publishing deal that we are trying to sort out. If I get that deal, then books will never come out again. and a new book will be made with the publisher. If I don't get the deal, then I will bring out the original book again, and we've also got a vegan book I was just about to bring out last November before this happened, and I had to stop it all. I literally was printing it. So wish me luck.
Oh, Orlando says, can I do the running parts later in the gym?
No, please do the workouts as they're designed. I don't need to do 10 press ups and then wait 2 hours and then do like 10 jumping jacks, wait 2 hours, go and do a bit of a run, wait 2 hours. No.
Can I roast my nuts?
Roast away.
Okay.
Keep going, come on.
I am. Is there an upper limit on the number of eggs we can have per day?
No. You wouldn't want to eat anymore if you was going too far anyway.
Any advice to help with DOMS?
Yes, just stretch out and make sure you take your post-workout shake and enjoy them. I love DOMS. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's delayed onset muscle soreness, which is what that aching you get when you've done a workout.
Somebody said, how much fruit can you have? Handful, but once or twice a day.
If it's in a snack, it's in a snack. So if you're having 2 snacks a day that have fruit in, it's fine. All you've got to do is follow the plan.
Someone said, can you eat Nando's chicken just plain with salad?
No.
Okay, my wife is CKD stage 5 and has protein intake limit along with other specifics. Can she do diet?
She can, but get her to PM me and we will work out a limit for her, what she can put in her meals. I'll deal with that with her.
Okay. Do we need to stop eating at a certain time of night?
Hour before bed, preferably.
Chelsea says, how do we handle double protein with regards to the meal replacement shakes for the extreme program? Is it still only 1 portion, 2 scoops?
Yes. It's in your meals. We have the double protein. I might change things later. Depends on the person. But as we start, it's like that.
I assume I'm not allowed sweetener in my coffee.
You assume right.
Are there low impact exercises? You've answered that. Why is the fizzy water not allowed? Did you say? Okay.
Are we getting near the bottom?
We are. I am scooting. Because I suffer from neuro fatigue, I can't do the whole challenge in one go. Is it possible to do the challenge over a couple of days?
Yes. Just do what you can. The food will change that for you though in a big way. You'll find a lot more energy. So tell me about the wins when you feel them, please. DM me.
I know you don't want us to use the scales during the program, but would you recommend it at the beginning and end?
For your own gratification, you can do them at the beginning and the end, but then I'd throw them away and stop ever being held to ransom by them again.
Is there such a thing as too much exercise?
Yes.
I currently train for a triathlon as a daily. Is the strength work set by you okay to add on top of my current strength program as an extra, or should I just follow the recommended sessions?
You can do some strength training. It will benefit you as well. If you're doing if you was going to say to me, right, Scott, I'm training twice a day, 7 days a week. That's like a bodybuilder would do. But the reason he can do that is because he's going. So that would be, I would consider to be a bit too much. You definitely need 1 day's full rest, because that's when you repair, that's when you grow. So make sure you got 1 day's full rest. And yeah, if you're just chucking a couple of challenges in amongst your triathlon stuff, make sure you're on next week's Zoom, Wednesday, the endurance event Zoom. And I'll tell you how to fuel for the triathlon and the training of the triathlon.
Harry said, what's the composition of snacks? A mini meal, half a palm of protein and a palm of veg?
No, but very blooming good question. I forgot to tell everyone this. Damn. Okay, half a meal is a snack as well. But 2 snacks do not make a meal. Very important. Half a meal is a snack, but 2 snacks do not make a meal. If you try and make 2 snacks a meal, you'll ruin the whole thing. But half a meal is a snack. Brilliant question. Thank God someone asked it.
Yes. How is intensive different from signature in terms of workout?
Answered that.
Accompaniments. Can I just have these with snacks and meals or just meals?
Sorry, I coughed. Say that again.
Accompaniments. Can I just have these with snacks and meals or just meals?
The accompaniments are in the recipe. So it'll say, go to the accompaniment. So just follow the recipes and they will tell you when there's an accompaniment to go with it.
After baby natural birth, I guess, of 10-pound baby, low pelvic floor muscles, jumping exercises aren't great. Any recommendations?
Yeah, we can switch those for something that doesn't cause you any problems. So for example, if you were going to do a jump squat, then maybe you would only do that as a squat, and so on.
Is matcha unsweetened permitted?
It depends. I'd have to see it to give you the answer. Why we can't just stick to what's on the plan, I don't know. But we'd have to see it. I'd have to see it. So you can send it to me if you want by PM.
Deepak says, fear of losing muscle mass with the plan. Can I add a scoop of whey with a smoothie once a day?
No.
Somebody says, can you have peanut butter?
Why are you scared? Stop. I don't. Have you seen the results of six pack? I don't have people walk out of it with no muscle. I turn them into Wolverine, man. No. So don't worry about things that don't exist. And if I see you and I think I need to change anything, I'll definitely do it. But we need to start sorting you out first. Yeah. Make sure you send your photos in, and if you've got any worries, PM me, and we'll do it together.
Somebody said, can you have peanut butter?
No, not unless it's in the recipe.
Somebody says, I like having saunas and doing 90-minute hot yoga 2 to 3 times a week. Should I drink more water?
Yeah, if you're doing a Bikram yoga, you might want some more water. So up to another litre. If you're already drinking 3 or 4 now, if you're drinking 2 now, then you're already having extra, aren't you? By having 3, for example, or vice versa, you know.
Yep. Somebody says, does the 10% discount work on the Malta Hub shop, or is it only for those able to access UK site directly?
Malta have another discount code, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's SPR10.
Yeah.
Do I need to have a post-workout for a Pilates after a Pilates class?
Yeah.
Tony said, so I had a gastric sleeve. I won't be able to eat full meal at once. Is it okay to graze throughout the day?
Yeah, I did say at the beginning, can you, if you've had gastric surgery or bariatric surgery of any kind, will you PM me? And I will discuss it with you.
Sorry, somebody said, fully loaded frittata contains 9 eggs as 1 snack. Is that correct? No, it's 3.
Make sure that you look at the servings on the recipes as well. That's 3 servings.
What's the youngest you would recommend for your shake powder? I have two 10-year-olds, I guess, that want to try what I'm doing.
So if you're going to give them the shakes, give them half a serving. If they're, it depends also on how their rest of their day is. They could have a whole serving. I don't know what their rest of their day is like, but maybe half to start with. It's not, it's only like having a large chicken breast, as far as protein goes. So.
Okay, can you make it clear who in the groups are the coaches and who are the legends? So we know who we're getting advice from.
Okay, so they've all been introduced in the group to you. So they've all introduced themselves. The one on the top banner is your actual coach. And then you've also got two assistant coaches that have been introduced to you. I can't tell you who they are now. One, I don't know what group you're in, and two, it's 45 groups. I don't even know the numbers that they're all attached to. But they've been introduced into your group already. I should do my head in this thing, never mind.
Have you guys had any alcoholics just quit cold turkey and then successfully complete SPR without drinking? Oops.
So I'm having a bit of a attack. Say that again.
Have you had any people on, have you guys had any alcoholics just quit cold turkey and then successfully complete SPR without drinking?
Yes, lots. And smokers. Both. Lots. In fact, they found that easier. They craved the alcohol less than other things like salty crisps. I'm struggling.
Michelle says, so can I have salmon every day for dinner as long as I have a different protein for lunches? Also, can I leave the skin on the salmon?
You'll get better results if you take the skin off. And I would always recommend that you have some kind of variety. So it's all right having it, a few times a week, but to have it every single day, especially salmon being one of the higher fat fish, I would say you should have some variety, because all different foods have all different things that deliver different stuff to our body. So variety is variety is the spice of life. So like me, I have it twice a day for 3 days, but then I won't have it till the following week, maybe.
Okay. How important is it to read or listen to The Secret? I've fallen asleep listening to it on Audible a few times now.
Well, the reason I recommend The Secret, and some people don't like The Secret, that's fine. We're all allowed to like different things, but it saved my life and it changed my life. And I won't be here now if it wasn't for that book. And so I've recommended it to people so that hopefully I can maybe pass something on that was really good for me. You'll get a lot of people that have negative opinions of it. I don't agree at all. I think it's very simple to understand, and it's just basically, as you probably heard me say a couple of times tonight already, focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. Stop looking at what might not happen and assume it will, and just being generally looking on the brighter side and the more positive side of things. And so I think it's I still listen to it 12 years later. I think if I'm ever feeling a bit down, I put it on and it lifts me straight up. And I recommend it to everyone. But if you don't want to read it, don't read it. Or if you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. It's only a recommendation. It's not a compulsory part of the program. But if you practice what it teaches, I'm a true believer that it will be great for everyone.
Okay. Is oat milk allowed?
No,
Um,
I've said that about
somebody-
times.
okay, I'm on statins for high cholesterol. Should I stop these?
I will not get involved in any medical doctors things at all. So no, don't change anything like that.
Why can't you eat plain Nando's chicken if it's palm sized?
Because they marinate in a load of stuff and I don't know what's in it. If I'm going to promise you results, I need to know what's going in you. God knows what they put in it. And also they're using chicken thighs, and if they use chicken breast, yeah, we still be marinated in a load of salty stuff, isn't it?
When you say 1 full day of rest, does this not include dailies?
Correct. 1 full day of rest, nothing, nada.
Why no chewing gum?
Because again, it's well known to cause bloating, and also it sends things into your brain that you're hungry and all sorts of stuff like that. So, I mean, no, it's not the end of the world, but we don't seem to do chewing gum on the program.
Why do we have to take supplements?
You don't.
Why do you recommend it?
Well, because, so for example, let's say the multivitamins and omega-3. It's like a backup plan, right? So we don't know what's in your food really, do we? Like in the sense of we don't know where it's come from, we don't know the quality of it, we don't know how it's been treated, we don't know how it's got to your plate. It's all right if everyone's going to buy organic all the time. If you can afford that, great. So we just have a multivitamin and omega-3, for example, to back up and make sure that we're just getting everything we need. And as I said earlier, pre and probiotic is very important for your gut microbiome. So, for example, if you're someone who's got a poor gut microbiome, you will absorb calories and vitamins and minerals differently from food than someone who's very healthy gut microbiome. So, the pre and probiotic and the dandelion root is really good for that. So that's why.
Okay. Would you consider doing group Zoom workouts or a Facebook Live group for motivation?
In a workout wise, I probably haven't really got a lot of time because I'm looking after nearly 6,000 people. So that's why, and also most people wouldn't be able to do the time that I'm doing. So therefore it becomes a recording anyway. And it's just like the recording that you've got. But never say never.
Rena says, what do you mean that the overnight oats don't count as a starchy carb? I thought that if we do oats, we can't do wraps or any other starchy carb on the same day. So is it either oats or a wrap, for example, in one day?
The 6-pack revolution overnight oats you can, because I know exactly how many carbs is in it. I know exactly how much protein is in it. I know, and also the balance of that meal is different to like your chocolate chili porridge oats, for example. And I know exactly what the calories are in there. So because it's been put together scientifically, it's been sent off, as in we know what's in it, right? I don't know what's in something that you're going to chuck in a bowl yourself. Etc, etc, etc. So that's why that one we can do as a if you want to use it as one of these starchy carbs and not have another one, don't. It's fine, but you can.
Christina says, do you reckon I could put my battle ropes around a bin as long as it's half full?
I would be surprised if that stayed up.
Yes.
How are we getting on?
I think we're there.
Cool. So we've done it in 3 hours. I was just concerned that no one will ever come on and do them again, thinking to themselves that it will just be cracking on for. Oh, and what's that noise?
Oh, Wynn's unmuted herself.
I've muted it back. It's all right.
It's all right, you're fine now.
Right, is that everybody's, Sam?
I believe so.
Team, I was sorry.
Sorry, we have Justina who has her hand raised, but I don't know.
Justina, can just you
Oh,
want to
here she comes.
unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
How are we doing? Yeah, so I think I heard earlier, if I heard you correctly, you said that you could have a shake as the last meal of the day, but I always thought that the last meal before you go to bed had to be food. Has that changed?
It's not because it had to be food, it had to be a snack because it's smaller than a meal. But I
I
think
did think that you could have a meal replacement shake as your last. I thought it had to be like a portion of food. That's how I remember it being anyway.
it was a snack. Yeah.
Ah.
But really it's a snack because I didn't want people to go to bed on a full stomach like they've just had a big chickpea biryani. But someone asked me at a really good time where I'm a bit like tired and I've been sitting here for 3 hours after a nutty, God knows what, and I just thought, I'll just have your bloody shake. Can't be bothered to argue about it.
Fair
You
enough.
have to excuse him.
That's all good. It's been one of the most amusing Zooms I've ever been on.
Well, I keep it that way to be a bit amusing because otherwise everyone be bored to death of 3 hours, isn't it? So I hope you all got my humour there. And also, I'm rushing so that she can get onto so Sam can get onto the next question because she said to me, "Oh my god!" And obviously with 1,700 people on the call, I'm just going, "Yep, no, yep, no." So don't take offence at my funny Sergeant Major with love delivery. It's all fun.
So no fizzy water then.
I just want to
Also,
apologise.
My teeth aren't this white, by the way. This is off the screen. I'm
Yeah.
not this creature comforts.
Hang around Ryland for too long.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Wynne has a question, I think.
Yes, Win.
Hi, hi Scott. It's really, I've never laughed as much in all my life. I'll certainly follow the plan. But I'm probably one of the oldest people on this program. It's almost 76. Running is just not on as far as I'm concerned now. Happy to walk miles very, very briskly. Happy to jump on my Aero Pilates machine with a cardio base. So it's a bit like a rebounder, really gets your heart rate up. Is that an acceptable alternative?
I'm loving that. I can't wait to see that one. I'm loving it. Me and you are going to get very close over this program. I can tell.
I'm not sure. I'm shaking in fear, actually. Those bloody battle ropes, I can hardly lift them up. And I used to lift 80 kilos 3 years ago.
Bring
But
it up, girl. Well, we'll get you back there. Don't you worry about that.
must, really must. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else got any questions for me? If not, oh, go on then, Rachel.
Yep. I think Rachel.
Thank you. What day is day 75? What date?
April
Sorry, I missed that.
1st. So April
31st of March.
April the 1st is your photo day, though.
April the 1st. What a day.
So say Saturday morning is April the 1st.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Um,
stopped-
First time that's ever happened as well. It's the first time we're going to finish on April the 1st. On the biggest one of all time.
I started this call tonight thinking there's no way I'm going to stick to it. And now I think I might stick to it.
Good.
So thank you.
We're going to hold you to that. I hope I didn't upset too many people anyway. I just get into my character and it runs away with me sometimes. I can see Sam and Richard, which is obviously going to be the new Posh and Becks of Six Pack this wave, and wetting themselves at me. And then there was a girl called Emma, I think, that was absolutely couldn't hold herself together. She was funny. So no, it's good. I'm glad I had some faces on the screen as well, because I'm used to having faces on the screen. So thanks for all joining me. And I hope I've answered everything well for you. And as I
I've
said,
never laughed as much in my life.
I got to bed now. Stop.
Sorry,
Um,
I
I've got-
asked a question. I asked a question.
Thanks,
earlier,
Rachel.
but,
Bye.
the
Hang on.
internet dropped out.
hang on, is that Nicola?
So it's Nicola. Sorry, I don't know how to get my camera on, so apologies. But, I asked a question earlier, and then the internet dropped out. Oh, hang on, start the video. I'll hide my glasses.
I helped you.
I slipped 2 discs in my back about 2 years ago. I'm under investigation. They're trying to figure out something to help me because I'm supposed to be running the marathon in April. But I am on certain painkillers and some of them have got caffeine in them. And I just wasn't sure if I had to swap them for something that hasn't got caffeine.
Don't worry about it. Just take what you've got to take.
Right, okay,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sometimes we have to roll with the punches. Right, so is that it?
We have Darren has his hand raised.
Darren, sorry, mate. Unmute yourself first. Darren, unmute yourself first, mate.
Sorry.
That's right.
Apologies if you've already covered it, but am I okay tagging on one of your, like, the challenges to existing exercise? Like, I do the park run locally every Saturday, and I thought, well, I'll do the challenge straight after.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Yeah, no problem at all. Right, is that it, everyone?
I have sent you a message on WhatsApp.
Okay. She's knows I usually forget half of the stuff, so I've probably forgotten something.
Hi, Scott. Sorry, I had one question which I posted to the. Scott, can you hear me?
I can.
I had one question which I posted to the group, but I had to leave the room for a bit, and I don't know if my question was posed. I think you mentioned that you can replace a meal and a snack with a meal replacement shake. Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that a meal and a snack, or a meal or a snack?
So we do 2 meals, 2 shakes, 2 snacks. That's one option. That's your 6. You can do 3 meals and 3 snacks. That's another option. That's your 6. Or you can do 1 shake, 2 meals, 3 snacks. That's another option. That's your 6.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
No worries. Thank you.
It's in, it's in your on your meal plans and on your those options. If you still confused and don't get it, PM me.
Okay.
Or,
No
or
worries.
ask your coach or ask in the group.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, mate, no worries. Right. Bear with me. Right, so apparently, I haven't seen this because obviously I'm just looking at the screen answering questions, but there's been people in the group apparently being a bit rude, so and saying inappropriate things. I haven't seen it, but I can only apologize for it. I didn't know it was happening, so otherwise I would have pulled it while I was on the screen. So if anyone did see some naughty banter, then I'll apologize on their behalf. I'm not saying it's right or anything, but don't let that derail you and worry you in any way, shape, or form. They probably didn't mean it in a bad way. I haven't seen it, so I'm only guessing. All right. So I've just been given a very vague message. Right, my lovelies. So thanks for spending this evening with me. I do appreciate it. And you're all still here, still 146 people here, which is quite amazing considering we've been on here for so long. I hope I answered everything well. I hope you understand and you're very clear on what we've got to do. If it's not on the plan, it doesn't pass your lips. If it is on the plan, it must pass your lips. Stick to that and you will win. And I look forward to seeing you all in the groups. Good night.
Good night.
Night, everyone. Good luck.
Ciao.
Don't overeat this weekend.
Good night. Thank you.
Hello, cheers, Scott. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye-bye.